real good.
Anyway, thank you, Gutchermad. And with that, I believe we have hit live. And I want to say thank you and welcome to every... Well, I think I jumped the gun on that one. Welcome, everyone, to another Monday night stream here at Proficiency Bonus. Sorry for the off week last week. I had a couple of people unavailable at the office, which required me to hang out late. But we are back. And before we jump too far into things, a couple of quick shout-outs. Big shout-out to Many-Sided Dice and their wonderful Lost Artifacts or Grey Gas Magical Items Compendium. Absolutely love that. If you haven't checked it out, definitely need to check out their website. Actually, a lot of our party members here have items from that book in their possession. Some use them slightly more frequently than others, but it's also to Nightshade Creations. They've got a couple. They do a lot of real-world accessories for your D&D games, things like dice trays. Our other DM, Michael, who is kindly helping us out with production, as Sarah's not here this week, had a Dish of Shame that was raffled off. JJ from our Friday night campaign has one of their collapsible folding dice towers that's very nice. Another shout out to Team MZ. They do a lot for support with small streamers such as us. And a big thank you to all of you who are watching, as just, I believe it was either yesterday or today, we finally hit the 200 follower mark. So thank you very much. We're now moving forward. Keep your eyes open. There will be a raffle coming in the next few weeks on the Monday night stream. We're going to do something over here for it. And then if you haven't seen the ads floating around, if you don't follow at Prof Bonus on Twitter, you may have missed that this Friday night we are not doing our normal Storm King's Thunder episode, as it is our Friday night DM Michael's birthday. So we have a special birthday one-shot being run by MG, who plays Lachlan. And there's also a raffle I've seen in the advertisements that you'll want to keep your eyes open for. So definitely some good things coming here in the future over at Proficiency Bonus. As I mentioned before, Sarah won't be with us this evening, as she is off on vacation in boot na boot, as they say in some foreign land. And with that, we'll jump into a slightly longer recap than usual, as I was told we had some technical difficulties last week, even though my computer was not advising me of it. We picked up last week, or last time I should say, with our party having roamed through the pyramid that they had created by planting one of their magical beings, with the aid of a Genasi barbarian, Tuala, that was none too happy with how they had been leaving their mark in the jungle. Found their way to the lower level of the pyramid and found the main burial chamber where, as they were trying to get into a secret door that they had noticed, opened the sarcophagus and thus awoke the Mummy Lord. Through a somewhat tense battle that resulted in the re-death of a couple of skeletons versus... a couple of skeletons being redeceased, and eventually the fall of both the Mummy Lord and the group's beloved companion, Dragonbait. As some of the party immediately started rummaging through, opening the secret door and just looting the tomb. Devonay, who had recently drank a potion of, I believe it was Storm Giant strength, just literally one hand picked up Dragonbait's body and proceeded to carry him out of the tomb, and unbeknownst to the other adventuring members, slip a certain ring out of Dragonbait's possession. As the party then proceeded to make their way, continuing west, seeking ever closer to get to the Shield Guardian the merchant Prince Wakanga had requested them to hunt down in order to obtain the spell book that was promised to Quen, they took a little time, said their farewells to Dragonbait. Tears were shed. And as they continued along, carrying with them a jar from within the pyramid, a couple of our party members noticed that the Fabio of Holding was starting to have like handprints come from within it. Upon upending the bag and dumping everything all over the floor of the jungle, they found themselves face to face with the Mummy Lord once more, as they had actually been carrying his heart with them, unbeknownst to them. It seemed that outside of his pyramid lair, it was a much easier go for the group this time around, as they put him down with extreme prejudice, destroyed the heart, I believe leaving some remnants of it on the bottom of one of Melik's shoes.
The druid hit me with lightning.
That's a good point. Solana, who is not here this evening, but struck their new friend with a lightning bolt. Mind you, it's in the middle of a rather severe thunderstorm, so it was not a pleasant experience for him.
The whole fight was such a mess.
It's been an interesting sort of run of things. But they're moving ever closer, as you guys have had pretty good luck with your navigation with Solana taking point on it. So it's, as we pick up at the beginning, let me just take a look here and see. So you guys had a, after dealing with the Mummy Lord, you guys are moving right on. I believe it's, we'll say, fairly early in the, like, not crack of dawn, but still fairly early in the morning. Like, shortly after lunch, but shortly after breakfast, before lunch, so you've got most of the day in front of you. What is the party's plan?
First thing that I notice, or Tuala notices when he wakes up, is that the usually red and almost molten-looking appearance of sort of the undercurrents of some of the cracks in his stony flesh have changed color this morning upon waking up, and seem to be now almost a whitish blue. And as he's going about helping to break down camp and keeps touching things, there's quiet mutterings of, "Ow, damn it," as he keeps getting, like, as if he had rubbed his sock feet onto a carpet. He keeps getting shocked by everything he touched. Apparently, being struck by lightning by the druid yesterday has had some sort of an effect on his elemental spirit. In that I have changed my storm aura with leveling up. Storm aura of the sea.
Okay, and actually that's a good point I forgot to mention mechanically. For your damage on your glaive, where that is tied to your storm aura, make sure you flip that to lightning as well.
Will do.
Okay, so as the rest of you, as you're awake, and you can see Tuala sort of, point, and you can tell the change. It's fairly obvious as you guys have been journeying with him, even though it's only been really like a day and a half at this point. It's a noticeable difference in terms of appearance.
Okay, Melik is at this point going to walk up to Devaney, and he's going to say something. Okay, do you know what's going on with him? Why is he blue now?
I don't know. Maybe it's a thing that they do. They change color every morning. Maybe tomorrow he'll be purple.
You know what? Maybe. But I'm still.
You could ask him.
No, I don't want him to think that I care.
Why not? He's a nice guy.
We've known him for 2 days. Don't make judgments. All right, we'll
Well,
see.
he seems like a nice guy. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, maybe he called me fancy.
You are fancy.
A regular dandy.
With one boot.
What?
You said last time you didn't want your boot back.
Right, one boot, exactly. One boot. Got it. Melik is now going to leave the conversation, and go put his clogs on.
Is Melik still just wearing his hat like 24 hours a day?
You know it.
Because he's pretending that none of us have noticed that his horn is chipped?
I think that hat thing started this whole problem in the first place, actually.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, the hat's specifically designed to it literally around blocking that. So unless someone actually goes and pulls it off, no one would have. No one has had line of sight on that damaged horn.
But they do know he's been consistently wearing a hat, which is weird. Fair enough.
Solana
Otherwise, I
spends
guess I'm
her
ready to...
morning prepping food, getting you guys ready to move along once everyone's prepared to. The day is yours. Anything you'd like to do before you move out, or are you continuing on your path?
Yeah, I think... Okay, I did have like a meta question, and I was kind of reading up on this a little bit, but I'm kind of interested in like poisons and stuff, and I was curious how you wanted to handle that kind of thing. Like...
In terms
I guess
of...
I'd need to go back... I guess I'd need to go back to town first and kind of find a recipe book.
It's realistically, all you'd really need to do is buy a poisoner's kit.
Okay, well that'll have to go back to
if you
town.
buy a poisoner's kit again, you won't have proficiency in it necessarily, unless you find a way to, mechanically speaking, unless you find something that will give you proficiency in it. But
Right,
again,
okay.
once you have the tools for it, you can start experimenting, make roll, oh, look, I found a random corpse of a frog that just poisoned Devaney, and she saw polka dots for an hour. Let's take some of scrape some of the skin off of that, and see if I can make something work with that.
All right, perfect. Well, let's get on the trail so I can get closer to doing that.
Okay, so Quinn, if you wouldn't mind, can I ask you to roll for Solana this evening?
Yes, happy to.
Okay, so then go ahead and make a survival check for me, as we are beginning our journey westward towards where you guys had marked down that your friendly shield guardian resides. Beautiful. Okay, so you guys start heading off your way. Then you managed to travel through actually the next 2 days going through. Actually, give me one more survival check for Solana, Gwen. Okay, so you guys managed to travel through the next 2 days with no problems. You set up camp, continue moving right through. You don't seem to be having any issues whatsoever. As you guys rest and come to consciousness the next morning again, assuming Devaney, who specifically takes last watch every day, you notice the storm has died down the second day. At this point, it's been raining heavily for a few days. Your rain catchers are all full. You've got enough water to get you through about a week each, given the your use of the rain catchers at this point. And you find yourselves starting to arrive at a spot. Let me grab it here for us. because, of course, not prepared. As you have made your way ever westward, and actually, before I go moving that, let me go and clear out a couple of things here. Oh, go to. Okay. You find yourselves. We're just going to pop you up to the token. And I'll just leave the name down there. Okay, you find yourselves walking up, and you see, you all see before you as you're coming down the river in your canoe and start to pull over to getting ready to make camp for the evening. About 50, 60 yards in from the river, standing next to some rocks and ferns, is an 8-foot-tall statue. Humanoid in shape, with bright bronze fists.
Doesn't look like any of these guys, does it? Because I've had about enough of the statues that looks like these people.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I was hoping it was a statue that looked like yours, though.
It's, as you look at it, you can see that the fists are bright bronze. The joints all appear to be metal as well. The chest piece is metal. The helmet is metal. The rest of the statue, besides those few pieces, all appears to be made out of wood.
It seems like well-maintained or new?
I'll say go ahead and make a perception check. And anyone who wants to can jump in with this. It's basically where you guys have sort of pulled over and started to have to prepare to make camp for the evening. There seems to be like a path leading into this point. Okay.
Hey.
I perceive nothing.
Yeah, Melik and Dwella, you guys have no real clue. You'd have to get a lot closer to see anything. Devney, with that check, given the sort of clear shot you've got into it, into this area, you can see that as you look around at the base of it, seem to be almost offerings. Little bowls with what appear to be what looks to be rotting fruit, like it's been here for a little while. Another one seems to have like feathers or leaves or something like that in it. And then you see a couple of skulls sitting beside it and a small pile of brightly colored stones.
Yikes. Can Quen do either a history or a religion check to see if he recognizes this figure?
Yep, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Arcana check, got it. Okay.
Yep. Quen, as you're watching the others look at this, and as you were helping Solana navigate it first, assumingly where you typically help out with Bookmark, you didn't really pay much attention at the beginning. As you see the rest of your group really focusing on this, and you turn your eyes and really take a close look at it, bells go off in your head. You're pretty sure you just found what you're looking for.
Oh, shit.
This is a shield guardian.
Okay, you guys, this is it. This is what we came here for. So we need to locate its command matrix.
It's what?
It's command matrix. It's the thing you use to control a stone golem or guardian.
Okay, what does it look like?
it looks like, and I'm sure I relay exactly what it looks like to the party.
With that check, I'll say yes. As you had meant, thank you very much for the follow. I'm gonna bludgeon this Catalina DJ. I'm just trying to merge it all into one word. So thank you. Welcome to the whatever this is. Some days we really don't know. So given your conversation with Wakanga and that check, most people typically make the control matrix in the form of almost, best way to describe it is like a crown. A simple band of metal that's worn about your head.
Okay, y'all. So we gotta look for a little crown type thingy around here. It probably couldn't be too far away. Maybe if we spread out, we can find it.
Can I take a look at the offerings that have been placed around the base of this thing and see if I can recognize anything about what type of locals might be responsible for placing these here, to see if that gives us a clue as to who might have this thing.
Yeah, I wanted to see how old they are. Are they recent, or the people still around?
Oh, okay. Go ahead, and I'll say make a survival check. And you can both make individual. One of you can help the other, however you two want to do it.
I'm not that great at survival.
I have a +4.
Yeah, I'll help you out.
Okay.
Okay.
I need it.
You
need the
really
help.
did. As
Not
so
doing well today.
and Tuala are sort of poking around looking at these. You both recognize that these do seem to be, while not the freshest, looking specifically like the fruit that's been sitting there, it's only a day or two old. As you're looking at it, the skulls definitely seem to be much older. As you're poking around, you do see that there are a number of footprints in the area. And Tuala, you would definitely recognize these given your residence in the area, as the most prevalent are heading slightly northeast and are goblinoid. But you also see footprints of grungs as well as vegapygmies. As you guys are looking, you can see that there are points in the
and vegapygmies.
There are points in the actual foliage and plants that are growing around this thing. That as the two of you are looking, you can see it's being cut back. So these creatures are apparently coming here and taking care of the landscape and basically keeping this clear. And while you would also know that typically those three groups really don't get along, but you don't see any signs of fighting or anything here. You can see all the footprints, you can see them intermingled, but there's no signs of combat that you recognize.
All right, and prevalently the goblinoid footprints, and they lead off to the north and
north and east.
The footprints of the grung and the vegapygmies are also into the northeast.
No, those lead alternative directions.
Okay.
As you look, the grungs tends to head more south and slightly east, and the vegapygmy head more west. So this seems to be somewhat of a central point for these groups.
Okay. Do I know of these three groups? Do I feel like goblins, or do I feel like one of them is more likely to be interested in like collecting like shiny, interesting like trinkets or things that they think look like fancy?
And Go ahead and make an insight check. Not really.
Dice gods help me tonight. This is
Yeah, Tuala's kind of
You're
rolling
burning
a
all
low.
your bad ones.
this. This stream brought to you by Peach Moonshine.
Brought to you by numbers less than 10.
That's right.
So at this point,
Okay.
Twala, you're really not sure. The best you've got to go on is the most recent footprints you can that you can see are the goblinoid.
Okay. And Devonay is like looking at him with me.
Yep, the two
Okay.
of you are.
So I'll just kind of gesture to some and point off in the northeasternly direction where they go and confer with Devonay and say, goblins to the north might be a good place to start.
Maybe their leader has control of this thing. Or they don't know they have control of the thing and they just think it's fancy.
Certainly possible. Goblins are not known for being particularly smart. Best to be cautious anyway.
Well, I have a feeling they're not going to like us asking for whatever they have.
Who said anything about asking?
Well, we could try and then,
Loud
Fine.
knuckle crack.
plan 8.5.
I like this guy. He's fairly strong. Makes me feel a little bit funny in my tummy.
Is he within earshot of me? Do I hear that?
Quinn, are
or
you
he's
within
standing
earshot?
Yeah, Quinn is probably about 20 or 30 feet away. Putting
with
his
like
hiking boots on.
with like all seriousness, Twala just turns. Did you look? Have you eaten any strange fruit? It is possible that your symptoms are the beginnings of a severe case of bowel discomfort.
I could go for some pretty strange fruit.
Okay, and Malik is gonna step in at this point and say, "Let's get to searching." Oh my God!
Fanciful one. Keep an eye on that one. Seems prone to putting things in his mouth that he shouldn't.
Yikes.
All right, Quinn, you're with me. We're going together now.
All right, let's go. So how I imagine this going is Quinn puts on, his big hiking boots. He gets a comically sized large magnifying glass and is just kind of looking around at the ground with it and giving like little commands to no one in particular, really. Just like, search that bush over there. Make sure you shake that tree.
Do you think they're actually going to be help at the goblins, or should we just, go by ourselves? Because
If anything, it's more targets for the goblins to shoot their arrows at.
true enough. Should we tell them that there are goblins that probably have what we're looking for?
I suppose so.
Well, you can tell Quinn, I'll tell Malik.
Okay. I'll follow behind Quinn for a little while. Just like arms folded behind my back, just watching the like shaking of trees and inspecting of things. And every once in a while just try and like position myself to like guide so that Quinn walks like towards where the tracks are. Just a nudge over there.
Okay. So since you're leading me to make me find these tracks. Can I roll investigation to see if I find them?
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead and make a investigation. Why not?
By George, I found these ridiculously small footprints.
Ah, impressive. Yes.
Thank you.
And while this is going on, Devaney will sort of saddle up to Melik and tell him quietly, we found footprints to a goblin village, probably, and we're gonna go look there.
Gwen shouts over, we should follow these footprints here I found.
Yeah, great. You know, I'm gonna tummy troubles now. I think I'm gonna yarts. So I'll catch up. My goodness.
All of you are foreigners to this jungle. You should not be eating any foliage that you pull off of these trees and shrubs. I cannot stress that strongly enough. Most things in this jungle are poisonous.
You're right. My bad.
I really wish that Gwen was just eating a random piece of fruit that he found just then.
Actually, I think who has the fruit that you guys have been picking throughout times? I know
Probably Solana.
Solana's got a little of it, but I thought you guys had more in the bag too.
If it's in the bag, I probably have it then.
Yeah, the only fruit I ever partied down on were them dancing bananas.
Oh, the dancing banana.
Trying to see. Yeah, Solana doesn't have anything marked down. But then again, I know you guys were using a lot of that sangria too, so it may be gone.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think we used it.
For more delicious afternoon beverages.
So as you guys have found the footprints, you've got a difficult choice now. Is you found this spot as you were pulling over to make camp for the evening. So you can push forward, try to locate this camp after dark and see how you make out, or you can make camp and then go about heading out towards it in the morning. What does the group want to do?
Might not be able to see what we're looking for in the dark.
Also,
Not with Gwen, the world famous explorer.
Yeah, okay, considering your attitude today, I don't want anything going on in the dark at all. Tuwala, can you see in the dark?
No, not any better than... when I look at everybody else is like dark visioning around here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, not any better than any...
Yeah, no, we done for today.
I can't.
That's what I thought. Okay. I say we camp out too. Especially if there might be goblins.
How heavy does this shield guardian thing look? Does it look like we could drag it with us?
Oh, it's made out of metal and wood, so it's not going to be fun, but you can always give it a shot.
I'm pretty ripped. I carry it.
You know? Take a look here. Check and see. So I want to say it's just a medium-sized. Where are you? Oh, it's actually a large. You can try. It's a strength check. But realistically, it's probably going to wear you out if you choose to do it.
Okay. I'm trying to look at my figure out how I don't calculate carry capacity. It's like strength score times 15 pounds, something like that, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So what's your strength score?
My strength score is 17.
Okay. I'd carry 255. It's a large creature. I'd say you can probably drag it.
Okay.
But it's literally you'd be wearing yourself out. You'd be taking levels of exhaustion if you kept pushing it.
Okay. Just curious. I didn't know if they were going to want to, like, drag it with us to go find the goblins.
How are you guys handling watches for this evening?
Are we camping like at the foot of the statue, or are we moving a little ways away first?
I think we should probably camp like a distance away from the statue.
Yeah, just a little bit of cover.
Because this seems to be a place where the natives like to come to.
Perhaps we should camp far enough away to remain hidden, but within eyesight, so if any natives do come to offer tribute to the statue, we can catch them in the act.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. Sounds good to me. I don't know what you plan to do with them if they offer tribute, but, like, I don't know. Could be interesting. Sounds good.
Well, we presume they have the hat of control, or whatever it was you called it.
Probably close enough.
We should intercept them if they come to offer tribute, yes?
All right. I'll take second watch.
Devaney wants last.
Quen will take third.
Okay.
That gives me first, right?
Yep.
All right.
I need a perception check from all four of you then, please. Oh, very nice, Malik.
All right. Help me, RNGesus.
Wow.
Not yet.
Get them all out.
Yeah.
Just get it all out.
I can't even
Get it all
I
out
can't even
now.
throw my dice away and get new ones because it's it's digital.
Oh.
Refresh roll 20.
So is anything anyone would be taking care of during their watch this evening?
Quen's having a pretty good time playing Jungle Explorer right now, so he'll do that with Chi-Chi.
Okay.
Right near the end of Devaney's watch, she is going to send a Volta out just to fly over where, the direction that the goblin footprints went in, to see if there's a camp there and what the layout is and anything like that.
Okay.
And... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, anything you'd want to do during your watch?
I was just going to work these 2 fern leaves I have into some panels.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make your check for that. Easy enough to do. You managed to get both of those, so get those 2 into panels. And what does it put you up to? Is that 6 or 7 panels you've got completed so far?
6.
Oh, okay. Yes, you've got yourself almost your full 8 panels for your little collapsible canopy to put on Stephanie.
Need 2 more panels and the center pole. And then we have an umbrella!
Yes, for those viewers who haven't been with us, the group has this masterwork handcrafted canoe that was made by a corpse-devouring lizard folk and their druid. And they have named it Stephanie and are now currently working on basically, the best way I can describe it is a oversized beach umbrella to sort of put over it to help deal with some of the storms and heavy rains and issues that happen when you're in a canoe during bad weather.
And can I please point out the deluxe luxury cup holders?
Oh,
Of
thank you,
course.
and I always forget the cup holders.
Basically the greatest Pimp My Ride side story.
It's can't keep a guide alive to save their lives, but holy hell, they have kept this canoe from getting anything happen to it. So as your watches come to a close, Devaney, it's easy enough to send a Volta out in the morning. A Volta disappears for as you guys are getting ready for breakfast. It's gone for a few hours and comes back. Didn't find a camp, but did mention that there are some points, again, heading that sort of northeast or east northeasterly direction, that Avalta is seeing that there are paths running through the jungle. So you definitely have a bead where, based on where the footprints are going and where you sent Avalta, you're fairly confident you have a direction you should head in if that's where you choose to go. But you don't have any information on the camp as of yet.
All right, so when Avalta returns and he shows me the information, I will let the group know that he didn't see a camp close to the statue, but there's definitely activity in the forest, and if we want to find goblins, that is the direction to head. There might be a camp, but Avalta didn't see one where he went. So if you still want to go in that direction, I'm still good for that. Are we going to hide Stephanie before we start adventuring?
Yes, we should hide Stephanie and then probably proceed slow-like. Because you said how far away this goblin camp was?
There isn't one that Avalta saw.
Oh.
There's lots of trails and like people have been there, goblins have been there, but he didn't see a camp. No huts or anything like that.
Interesting.
Not in the direction that he flew, so.
Maybe let's keep slightly off of the path.
And at least out and about, kind of forward scouting just in case.
Maybe me and Melik can scout ahead because we're probably the sneakiest.
I can send Avalta 100 feet out and still have contact with him as well.
Good. That'll be awesome. Do you have sending?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I'm not that talented of a magic user.
Solana should definitely use plant growth around Stephanie.
Yes.
It's a good
I've
idea.
gotten into a state where I just have forgotten the fact that Stephanie could get hurt, and then when I remember, it's like the world breaks for a second. Okay.
You think something is sacred, but then you're wrong.
Okay, so somebody go ahead and make a survival check. Who's ever taking point in sort of finding a nice little safe spot to hide Stephanie in.
Probably Solana will. Let me roll for her.
Okay. And I'll say take advantage because Melik is probably right there.
Yeah. Being
So that
very
spot's dirty. No, that spot is not good.
So, you guys managed to find a pretty good spot to sort of off the beaten path, only about 150 yards from where this shield guardian is currently immobilized. Take a little bit of time. Now, what's your plan on hiding it? I know you mentioned you're going to Solana do plant growth. Is anyone doing anything else?
Chi-Chi will help with the plant growth. And what's the distance for this minor illusion?
Minor illusion will last only a minute.
Oh, okay.
So once you do it, it'll last there, but by the time the minute's up, you're only going to be maybe 300-400 feet away.
Gotcha. All right. Let's toss that and have Chi-Chi assist Solana in making plants grow and obscuring the boat.
Okay, so go ahead and make a wisdom check for Solana with advantage.
Ooh, crit.
Yep, so you guys do fine. It's are you going to put any sort of reminder for yourself? Solana does such an excellent job hiding this. a couple of you are wondering whether or not you need to put a reminder for yourselves.
It's a very where did we park the car moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're looking for a pin in a pile full of pins.
Chi-Chi, make note of this location. And let's see.
You could like make one flower grow on like a spot nearby or something that's like kind of different.
One large purple flower.
Yeah.
Like, put like one large purple flower within like 50 feet of it.
Easy enough for Solana to do with Druidcraft. Okay, so as you guys have now hidden Stephanie, what's your marching order for your plans? Or what are you guys doing?
Melik, did you want to go ahead together with Evolta?
The three of us?
Volta will be well, at least 50 feet in front of you guys.
If Avalta's gonna be like way, way, way ahead of all of us, then like I just say we all go together. There's no reason to split up in that case.
All right.
Right?
Well, we're gonna have to walk at least double file. So if you guys want to be at the front, and then Solana and Tuala and I could be nearer the back.
Okay. As long as you're not too far behind.
I'll be able to touch your shoulder, like
Perfect.
Like in a row.
Great. Okay, cool.
Okay, so you guys start following the set of footprints that Quen, Devney, and Tuala had located yesterday, and start traveling through. And because I forgot to mention it, the weather is much the same as you guys have become accustomed to. Hot, humid, occasional bouts of rain, but a lot of it doesn't make it through the tree canopies down to you. You don't really have too much of a problem traveling through, as you travel for about 2.5, 3 hours following these footpath, the footprints. You come across a point where the footprints seem to diverge a little bit and go off slightly more easterly than you had been following a few moments ago. And you can start seeing points where it's more noticeable the underbrush in the tree, the jungle, the underbrush, the foliage is being cut back by something. It's more of a cleared path. Devonay, you're not getting anything really yet from Evolta, short of it just clear. I was about to say we have a small creature attacking. Never mind, I lied to you. And it's at this point you still haven't seen any actual signs of a camp. Are you guys continuing to follow the path you're on, or?
Well, if we're following the goblin tracks, we should follow the goblin tracks down the new path.
Yeah, this seems like it's part of the route where they're like actually, as if this is getting closer to the settlement, where this is a route that they use a lot to maybe diverge into different directions, but this part of it is well maintained, so like, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, let's go towards that way.
Okay. So as you continue along your path, you get to a point where there is one of the small tributary rivers is now forces you to turn slightly more east as you continue this sort of northeasterly point. You can see where the river sort of carves down in front of you for about 20 or 30 feet and then turns almost directly north. And you can see there is a point of the path directly across this. It's only about 25, 30 feet wide. Circle the jungle or cut straight across. Or anything else you can come up with.
So you're saying the path continues on the other side of the river?
So, yes, no, hold on. Let me grab my drawing tool here. I apologize, not doing a great job explaining. So, grab, zoom in a little. Okay. So basically, let me shift ping you guys over to the ocean for a moment so that we can show. So basically, the river that you see sort of pulls a look like that. You guys currently are right down at this little green dot. The path you can see continues up over here. So basically you can cut through the stream and get right to the path, or you can sort of circle around so you don't have to go through the water.
Deep? Or you said it's a stream, so...
Yeah, it's... well, go ahead and make a... we'll call it a perception check.
All right. Oh, you could tell me anything.
As you walk over and look down, you're like, yeah, no, I'm not even going to check. Nope. I know what these streams do to people.
Do the footprints go around, or do they stop at the edge of the water?
As you watch, the footprints do seem to sort of go around along the edge, but there's no clearing of the path to it. It's like they get to this point and go, fudge their way around, and then continue along.
Okay.
Malik, as you're checking the depth of the stream, doesn't look to be more than 4.5 feet deep.
And the current?
Oh, it's barely moving. If you're talking about could you walk across it, yes, fairly easily.
Okay, yeah, but I guess super wet, though. That's a bummer. Okay, well, we could definitely cross this stream. I'd love it if somebody carried me if we were going to do that one. That's my report.
I'm just going to go around. That's what the goblins seem to do.
Okay. I think we're going to follow the Goblin Path. Let's do that.
All right, Goblin Path. Good idea. Let's at least stick together.
Okay, so as you guys follow along, you don't have much difficulty. It's not quite as comfortable walking because the path isn't there. But again, sort of dodging in between the trees and whatnot. Eventually, about 20, 25 minutes later, you find yourselves at the opening of the other path. And I'd like all of you to go ahead and make perception checks. As Devaney, you are now getting notice from Avalta that a little ways in front of where this path is sort of turned and continues up along the side of this river, that it's starting to open up. Okay. And Devaney, you are the only one who notices as everyone else seems to be just glad to be back on the beaten path, so to speak.
Numbers under 10.
I feel shame as a bonus action.
It's, as you're looking, you can see about 150 feet in front of you, there is what appears to be a couple of wooden, I guess I'll say, effigies. Looks to be a wooden pole with a crosshatch on it, and a skull sitting on the top of it. And those sit on either side of a fairly decent-sized rock. And then beyond that, it seems to open up wider, and it's somewhat hard to see much more from that distance.
Yikes. Hey, Melik, can't you
What
talk
kind
to
of
skulls?
skulls are they? What kind of skulls? Like, are they big enough to be human, or are they like goblin-sized? Do goblins
From
have the
that-
same size of head as humans, for that matter? I don't know.
It's from this distance, it's hard to tell. From this far away, they look to be very small. But you'd have to get a lot closer to be able to be for sure. They could be small people. Could be halfling. It's hard to say.
Well,
You're fairly certain they're not giant and they're not animal. They are definitely humanoid of some kind. So,
yeah, I guess so. So I will point them out to the rest of the group. Hey, look at that! I guess we're getting close.
Yeah, and I think my spell that lets me talk to dead people only works if they have skin mouths. So can't talk to Rattlebones over there. But
What a... That sucks. Well, I think we should take a look around a little bit more stealthily, because I know if I want people to not go someplace, I would put a skull on a stick in front of my yard.
absolutely, that only makes sense.
okay, so what's the group's plan?
Roll for stealth.
Okay, then roll away.
Who has Pass Without Trace?
I do, actually.
Solana does?
Well,
I can
might only
use
be
the
on myself.
Solana one.
Earthwalk.
What level is it?
Stone.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so you make yourself... Holy hell, add 10 to it.
Should I roll stealth for Solana too?
Definitely, yeah.
What is going on?
Bad. I know, you're getting them when it's important.
Koala.
Am I stealthing?
Are you?
Oh, are you?
Can I double pass without a trace? No, it doesn't work like that.
No, but realistically, I don't think you'll need to. It's a group check, so...
Well, let's see. Let's see what I can do about that.
You'd have to not want it to affect the group.
Oh, I accept your challenge, sir. Stealth. Haha!
At least you're consistent.
My best roll of the night.
Still a 19, so... you guys are fairly certain you are moving unseen throughout this area. So what is your plan of approach? You have a marching order? You guys sort of branching out? What's the group doing?
Quinn's gonna stand behind the big muscle guy, who he's gonna push to the front a little bit, at least as much as he can, with his tiny arms.
Melik was going to stand behind Quinn, but that's still weird at this point, so he's just going to stealth around somewhere else, I guess. But close by. Fear is definitely winning over odd confusion at this point.
It takes me a minute to realize that somebody is pushing. I turn around. What?
Kind of like, he just plays it off real cool. He looks at the trees and stuff, and he's like, yeah, really good foliage.
I would like to make a perception check to see if that foliage is indeed really good.
Go ahead. Not bad.
Not bad.
You live here, so it's...
I've seen better foliage, but this is okay. I guess if I'm being prodded, I'll take off up the sort of in the direction of these little skull guys and kind of walk and keep an eye out ahead for tripwires and pitfalls and other nonsense that goblins are fans of doing.
It doesn't take you more than 4 or 5 steps before you come across what to you is a fairly obvious tripwire across the middle of the path.
Okay, so I'm not going to investigate or anything. I just point it out. I'll turn. Goblins are very bad at this. Here is a tripwire.
Okay, step over that one.
We must be getting close.
Wait. Quinn finds a large stone and wants to throw it just beyond the tripwire onto the ground. What happens?
Easy enough to find a rock on the ground. You pick it up, lob it. Rolls about another foot in front of it.
Okay, it's safe. Let's go.
So while we're approaching, I would like to send a Volta ahead to see what he can see. If there is indeed a village.
Okay. So as you send a Volta out, Avalta does in fact start to read back to you as, takes up over the trees and gets just within that 100-foot range, but enough to sort of see, get a bird's eye view, so to speak. And comes back and, yes, there is a large clearing with a number of huts present in sort of this strange sort of central circular patterned with another tent further off to the side. You seem to have a confirmation you've got something coming up ahead.
I'll ask him more than 100 or less than 100?
In terms of...
How many goblins there are.
You just get back that a few.
Okay.
Doesn't see what appears to be a large number at the moment. But again, Volta is up, and there are a bunch of closed huts in here, so there could be many more inside the buildings that a Volta wouldn't be able to see.
I'm remembering the frog people. How many there were in all the huts.
Oh yeah, the clown car hut.
I have maybe a bit of a metagame question since I'm new to the campaign here. Within like the confines of our game world here, are goblins basically considered like straight up monsters in this world, or are they do they have any dealings with the other races of this area? Like how Tuala treats this is going to be different if there's potentially a bunch of goblin women and babies in these huts.
Right. So goblins are, I'll say yes, no. They're hatred of other races. They're carnivorous. They tend to eat whatever they can get their hands on. They're not exactly friendly. The party themselves have had run-ins with them back in a shrine where the party went in to get something out of the shrine, and the minute they walked out the door, the goblins were like, give it here, you're all dead. Didn't work out that well for the goblins, but they do have their own civilization. They do have their own like culture and civilization. They're not monsters, so to speak. So now, is this a warband? Is this going to be a city full of, women, children, and elderly people? No way to know until you're in the thick of it. But Tuwala would know that there are groups of goblins that are sent out solely on raiding parties, just kill, murder, destroy, and then bring food back to the main location where the women and infants are. And then there are other points where it's where the women and infants are. So,
Okay.
And we lost us a Goblin. Sorry, I just sent in a message. Hopefully. Hey! Goblin returned to us.
There we go.
Oh, okay. So as you guys managed to dodge the tripwire without any real problem, and proceed to. Are you continuing to move up towards where the basically the jungle sort of falls back into the opening?
Yeah. Should we keep checking for more tripwires?
Probably.
Okay.
That's realistically, for you guys, they're easy enough to spot. I mean, as you're looking around, everyone's passive perception is high enough to see these things a quarter mile away.
Actually,
They're very bad at this. Okay.
I had an idea. Would it be an investigation? What are these tripwires attached to? If we take a look at them.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
My sweet +0. Hey, all right.
Hey, you broke double digits.
Nice.
So as you're starting to poke around, let me just jump over here. Okay. So as you sort of follow them back a little ways, and you notice that from the initial trip point on the path, they tend to go a ways in, but as you look in, you can see what looks to be almost like a wind chime made out of skulls and shells. So you get the idea if you were to trip it, basically you'd be ringing an alarm bell.
Okay, then that. Okay, then I'm not gonna do anything with that.
Okay, so what I will do, and I will ask Mr. Producer to follow the bouncing player flag all the way to the right as our party makes their way to the southern entrance of Yeliark. Just going to shift ping you guys as you are down here. Huh. What is fascinating is, for some reason, my producer cannot see the other tokens. I'll have to futz with that at another point. That is weird. The only token that's showing up is Tulua's on our Twitch stream. So for our Twitch viewers, I do apologize. All of our party right now, for mapping standpoint, is behind this southern rock that I just shifting where you can see Tulua. And I've just got them lined up on either side of him at the moment. So unfortunately, we will be slightly theater of the mind for the tokens for our viewers, as for some reason our tokens aren't showing up. Quen, are you able to see any of the tokens?
No, I can't see the map at all, but that was the same problem I had last week, and I think that you should re-upload the tokens to Roll20. That might fix it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get the files from Sarah when she gets back, but in the meantime, then what we will do is disable dynamic lighting for the moment. Ooh, now you should be able to see the map, right? Quen?
Can see it.
No, okay. So, I'll have to futz with those tokens later. So, at the moment, you guys are still just inside the tree line. I just don't have a tree line to put you in on this map. Technically, you're probably about another 15, 20 feet just south of this. Oh. Thank you very much. So what is our... What's the party's plan? Is you guys sort of are crouched within the trees just before the opening of here. As you're looking out, you can see much as the vault reported to Devaney. There are a couple of individuals you can see in the distance.
Are they inside that big tent? That's not a big tent. That's a big old tarp on the ground.
Yeah, it's what you're as you're looking, you can see what appears to be a large sort of tarp-like structure laid on the ground, and there are tents set up on that actual tarp.
Okay, weird. I guess, okay, I'm going to turn to the rest of my compatriots and kind of ask them the same question. Like, are we trying to find somebody to interrogate, or are we trying to, like, waste this whole spot?
I wouldn't try and sneak and like steal what we're after if they have it.
Well, let's wait and see if we can spot the chieftain. He might be wearing it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We could always walk in and demand that they hand it to us.
Well, that sounds like
a
wasting
true
the
muscle
spot.
man.
Oh boy. Okay, my guess is he's gonna be in the bigger tent, if that's where a chieftain might be.
I agree.
So I can turn invisible and then sneak in, see if he's wearing it, get it, and then come back.
Perfect.
I wouldn't grab it because he might grab you. You're probably about as big as a goblin yourself.
Hey, I resent that. I'm at least like half a head taller than a goblin.
Yeah, good point. Anyways, love the plan. If I think you have an opening, go for it. If not, then just tell us what's up, I guess.
Right. Well, I won't do anything to bring attention to myself if that's what you're concerned about.
Exactly.
So Quen will turn invisible, and then we'll try and still like sneakily try and make his way over to the big hut.
Okay, so go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage, and don't forget to add your +10 for pass without a trace, which you guys still have going at the moment.
Ability.
Oh, yes, you're
Cool. Yeah, 30.
you're 30. So, and you're heading up to the large tent due north of where you are?
Yeah. I just want to look around it, see how I can get inside first.
Okay, so as you start getting up close to it, you can see there seems to be a single entranceway in the southern portion of it. You don't see any, you don't appear to see any guards or anything on the outside of it at the moment.
Okay. Well then Quen will... So is it just open? There's no flap or anything?
It's just looks to be in the entranceway. While there are flaps on it, does appear to be open at the moment.
Okay. So I will go through the flaps, looking out for any sort of noise makers in the entryway, like a wind chime or like bells or whatever.
Okay. So as you stick your head in, you see it has a rather foul odor in here,
Ugh.
as this location is filled with all manner of fresh meat, fish, produce. You seem to have found their storehouse or their larder.
Blech. All right. Well, Quinn will walk right out of there. Let's see. And there aren't any other like fancier looking huts around? Are they all like completely like egalitarian, like communist type, like primitivists, or like what's going on?
Okay. So as you're looking at them, you see, again, there are 5 more huts, all located on that centralized tarp. And they all look to be about the same.
Okay. I will take one step onto the tarp. What happened?
You're standing now on a tarp.
Awesome. I will continue forward to this hut right here and see what I find.
Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So as you go and look into said hut, you can see that there are what appear to be 5 goblins sitting within that hut.
Okay. Are they wearing anything like of interest?
They all have their different animal masks on, just as
Okay.
the other goblins you've run into in the past have had on.
Interesting. Okay, so Quinn will unpoke his head and go over to the nearest one, slightly to the south, and see what's in there.
Okay. Par for the course, you see another group of goblins sitting in there. They all seem to be sitting around. Again, they all still have that same, again, different animals, but that same style of mask on them.
Huh, okay. Then I'll go to this one down here. It looks to be a pretty popular hangout spot.
Okay, so as you get a little closer to that, you notice that the 2 goblins in front are standing at attention with weapons at their side.
Ah, looks like they're a little trained.
As you poke your head in there, you can see. Well, actually, let me pull up and blow her image up so you can see what you're seeing here. Come on, stop. Okay, so you see within that hut, you see 6 additional goblins wearing the standard mask, just like you've seen everywhere else and the other goblins you've run into. And you see one that looks different, as she does not appear to be wearing a mask. Has multiple strands of scraggly black hair tied off in red ribbons pointing up. And go ahead and make a perception check. She also appears to have an amulet draped around her neck that has the word Vorn inscribed on it.
Boom, baby. Okay. Okay, so... Alright, so I want to sneak inside of the hut, like just inside of it. Like I'll probably be close to a wall of it, or as close to a wall as I can get in a hut. And I want to see what she's up to. Like what's she doing? Is she like doing stately affairs? Is she participating in a ritual?
So as you're looking, and I'm just bringing all the other guys onto that token layer where you guys are aware, well, you're aware of them now. Your party has no idea where you are or what they're doing. So as you're, she seems to be sitting in for what we'll call her throne. And immediately on either sides of her are two of the goblins on her left, two on the right, bickering back and forth. Just one barks something, and the other fires back. They seem to be involved in some sort of a heated argument. And then as you turn and look, the two guards that are outside the area are mirrored by two immediately within the doors, both looking towards this unmasked, scraggly-haired goblin. Again, weapons in their hands, at attention, watching whatever is going on here.
Interesting. And so she's just sitting on the throne while two of her guards are bickering over her?
There's four in front of her that are bickering back and forth. She doesn't seem to be involved in it. And there are two guards inside and two guards outside. So basically besides her, there's a total of 8 goblins in this immediate vicinity.
Okay. So I take note of this. I'm going to step out of the hut, and then I'm going to walk towards my compatriots and relay to them what I saw. I say, okay, so in that hut right there with the two out to the left and the right of the door, that's where our quarry is. Inside, it looks...
Quinn, next time you do that, you gotta, tap us on the shoulder or something. You can't just start talking. They're giving you a heart attack.
Well, I like to keep you all on your toes. And so there looks to be what I assume is a chieftain, and she has it around her neck. The control matrix that we need.
Do any of us speak Goblin?
Well, I doubt if any of us could speak Goblin, they'd be hospitable to us.
What do these goblins look like? How do they adorn themselves?
They wear
with some of the tribes in this area.
They wear masks of animals. Looks to be carved wooden masks.
Are you carrying the bag of too much room on the inside?
I am.
Give it here.
Quinn hands over the bag of Fabio.
I guess I just stick my hand in. I don't know how we've established that things come out of the bag of Fabio. I want the golden mask that we found in the mummy lord's tomb.
As you sort of go running around for it, and immediately you pull it out. It's in your hand.
I hold it up. Similar to this.
Ah, yes, that looks about right, I think.
Perhaps we could convince the goblin chieftainess to trade the necklace for this.
Okay.
Well, judging by the way they bring that statue tribute and that thing around her neck, they probably worship that. That might be holy to them. So I don't think they might not want to trade that, is what I'm saying.
Well, maybe the mask is holier.
Oh, you got me.
We could try to convince them. Okay, I have one meta question really quick, because I've bungled up concentration spells before. Can I cast a non-concentration spell while I'm working on a concentration one?
Yes.
Sick. Okay. I can alter my appearance to look like a goblin. And I can also use tongues to talk to them? Maybe?
Oh.
I do have to be able to touch them. So that's kind of something.
Well, tongues is you can understand them and they can understand you, but the rest of the party won't be able to.
Right, I think it's only with the one that I'm talking to.
Yeah, so Malik, you can transform yourself and try and make a trade, and I can accompany you while I stay invisible.
Perhaps we all go and the fanciful one concocts a story as to why we are there, I should hate to see you get in trouble should things go poorly.
I could go as a translator. Okay, this could kind of work. Like I'm a
Goblins are
diplomatic
very
translator.
stupid. Your story probably does not have to be that convincing.
But where's the fun in that?
They're stupid and violent.
Diplomacy is always the honorable first path.
Oh,
Failing that, we can just kill them all.
No, I'd rather not murder a tribe of natives. And we should just make a trade.
As I say, diplomacy is all.
Okay, so the statue golem is super holy. What else could potentially be holy to goblins?
If they have not moved the statue, perhaps they do not know what the amulet does.
Oh, I also didn't mention that their chieftain did not have a mask.
If these goblins... I guess I'm making a leap of a guess here. If these goblins ritualize these animal masks, perhaps you could convince their leader that the golden mask does precisely what it is that the amulet she already possesses does. Tell her that it is the key to unlocking their whatever they think the construct man is.
I see. Well, I can cast a minor illusion on this mask and make it have an appearance of something more fantastical.
Maybe if it had a aura or something.
Or something like resembling, like maybe if they don't know what the amulet does exactly, does the amulet have any markings on it that directly like ties it to the statue? Like, could we convince them that this mask has a greater tie to the statue than the amulet does?
There's there's markings and words upon the amulet, and I can make those same markings appear on this mask.
Do that, but make them like in all capital letters.
All right. Made in China.
Bold impact font.
Bold impact.
Because when you need holy, you need capital letters.
Extra holy.
And Roman numerals.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay, so let's do that. I like this idea. I like this plan.
I could also cast light on the mask. It will be bright, but I can change the color to be whatever color you want. If you don't want to do that with your illusion as well.
I like this plan.
It seems fun.
The whimsical one shall pose as some sort of a mystic goblin. We shall pretend to be servants of his and convince them to simply hand us the item we want and walk out.
Oh, Devaney, you can cast light on Melik as he's a goblin. You can make him look like a god.
Can't really do the whole goblin, but I can make him like maybe his head or his nose or something like that.
Melik will go ahead and start casting that alter self spell and get into kind of a, let's see, yeah, a little bit shorter, a little bit wider, definitely stodgier, but like still pretty smooth on the skin, I guess. I don't know. Going for that old attractive shaman look because pride is too much to deal with.
So as you guys are preparing to go in, this is probably the best point we're going to get to take our break this evening. So we'll take a quick, 3 to 7 minute break. top off our drinks, at whatever we need to. Give me a few moments to work on fixing this token problem that we've run into. And when we get back, our party will proceed to go have a conversation with some goblins.
I'm stoked.
So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in with us this evening. We'll be back shortly and see how our party makes out speaking with the goblin leader. Thank you very much. And Mr. Producer, if you can kick us on over to break for a few moments. It's always so hard to know when you're live. Hey, and of course I say that as he tells me we're live. So, hi, welcome back, folks. Thank you for bearing with us during our quick break here. It seems now that my producer is able to see the tokens that were missing before. Quen, can you see your token now and the other tokens down in the corner down here?
Yes.
Hooray! So apparently it was our actual pretty tokens that were giving us a hard time. So I'm fixing those for next time, but at least now everyone can see it. And we will pick up right where we left off, as it seems our party has made a plan to go in and attempt to bargain with these goblins to try to obtain the amulet that is around the leader's neck.
And one thing that I wanted to add about my disguise. I want to glass my eyes over so that I look super blind. And also to my party. Okay. For blind goblin, what's a goblin name?
It should be something cool with like one syllable.
I've never met a goblin before that's told me its name. I don't know.
Gum.
Gum?
Please.
Right. Shaman Gumby. All right, we'll do that. Shaman Gum. And, okay, so, I guess, Devonay? Do you want to be my main handler? Because I'm going to need somebody to kind of lead me over to the main goblin person and then put my hand in hers.
Yeah. So Quen will stand beside the transformed Melik. Quen is invisible still. And he's going to lead Melik into the town looking all grandiose and stuff.
Well, I think the goblins need to see somebody leading him, otherwise they're going to be very confused.
Yeah, y'all are all coming with me. I got an entourage.
Okay, so you have your disguise. If you cast tongues on yourself, you'll be the only one that will understand them.
Right. The plan is that I will be the one like communicating with them, and then if y'all have any questions, I can like translate it for you, since y'all obviously aren't like goblins, and then relay that information back.
But you don't have to touch the goblin to be able to use the spell on them. Any creature will be able to understand you. And you can understand any creature.
Oh, let's see. This spell grants the creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears. So I just have to touch them one time.
You have to touch yourself. That's all you have to do.
Heyo.
I do that all the time. Great.
If you need some privacy, I heard there were some pretty nice foliages in the area.
I'm not going to take that bait.
Truth, can verify.
Okay, so now that Melik understands his own abilities, boom, let's do this.
Okay, what are we doing to this mask?
I need to throw out that's a -1 roll on something.
-1 roll?
You cut out for a second there, Matt.
Basically, I'm giving Keplin a hard time because if you guys had walked up to the goblins, you really think they're going to let you walk in with nobody being able to communicate with them at all? If Keplin hadn't pointed it out, it would have been...
Thank you, Keplin. For helping me understand how my own magic works.
I still have the mask, right?
Yep, unless you put it back in the bag.
All right, no, I still have that. So I guess I'll just like hold it as if I'm the like official mask carrying guy of the group.
Perfect.
And what do you want Solana to do? It's wild shape. She can stay out. It's...
Ooh, should she turn into an animal?
She should turn into can she turn into a raven or something? She should turn into like a raven or some other kind of, maybe like an animal similar to the ones on some of their masks, but like something that she could like perch on Melik's shoulder, some kind of like spooky bird.
I mean, can I get like a 3-eyed pigeon? That'd be so sweet.
A 3-eyed pigeon.
What level did druids get flight for wild shape? I believe that's 8, right?
Okay, she can be like a 3-eyed hamster. That's probably not as spooky, but...
I think she should turn into like a cheetah or something, or a panther.
Yeah, she doesn't
Something
get flight
cool.
for 8, so...
It would be cool, though. What about like an ocelot, like a smaller one?
You've seen... so what you guys have seen in the goblins that you've actually run into in your journeys through the areas. Let me just take a quick look here. You've seen them wearing basically what looks to be boars masks, or masks that are meant to look like boars, but instead of just having the normal 2 front tusks, with like extra tusks coming out of the top, basically just more horns than what would be. Other things look like a strange, almost, best way I can describe it is think of it like a vampiric frog. Like just a frog's face, but with a large fanged, overhanged jaw.
What is the mask that we have? What's that look like?
The mask you have, I believe, is a... let me check here. I gotta grab my note. Wherever it disappeared to. Where did my... no, it was a...
If we're lucky, it's a duck-billed platypus.
Even if we're not, let's do it!
Where are you? Okay. Yeah, it did not specify. It's just a gold war mask that has been painted. So, given the area, we'll say that it looks to be fashioned similar to the hound helmets that you saw on the statues in the upper floors of the pyramid where you found it. So it's fashioned with that same sort of elongated snout, but it's painted to look like more feral almost.
Right. Can we
Does she
throw
have the
some
ability?
horns on this thing?
I think
Should be-
Solana should transform to look like the mask.
That's what I'm. Yeah, that was what I was getting at. Can she be like a wolf or something?
Yeah. She can easily form into a wolf or like a large, again, to put a real world spin on, almost has almost like a Doberman-esque appearance to it, but with an elongated snout.
Oh my gosh, she's Scooby-Doo, you guys.
Like a jackal?
Basically.
Okay.
Cool,
Or for those real world religious type folks, Anubis.
Right.
Oh yeah, we did find it in a mummy tomb. I guess that makes
That one.
So basically,
Right.
we'll call this the Anubis dog. So
Okay.
easy enough for Solana to do if that's what Solana wants to.
Okay. Oh, okay, guys. And then Solana transforms into an effigy of the mask. Hey, Devaney, can you pet me?
It's like the best impression. of
I
Sarah.
don't speak whatever she turned into, but I will scratch her behind the ears.
Okay.
You basically have a somewhat goofy looking dog with an elongated head looking up at you.
All right, guys, let's go.
Quinn, are you going to do enchantment stuff on the mask, or are we just leaving it as is?
Yes. So Quinn will cast Minor Illusion when you present the mask to give it the appearance of the letters of the same letters that he saw on the medallion that the chieftain is wearing.
Okay, right, but bigger. Okay.
In
I'm
bold,
gonna
in
hold-
italicized.
Underlined?
Let's not go that far.
Fair enough. Subtlety is definitely better.
All right, calm down. Let's not get carried away.
Let's not get crazy.
Jeez.
Can add glitter.
Melik is going to hold a feeble little handout for somebody to take. And then somebody.
Devaney will take it.
Fabulous. And then we're going to start walking towards the hut with the chieftain in it.
I'll go like a half step behind them and maybe like cover the mask with something so that we can do a dramatic reveal later.
Please.
Okay, yeah, there's a couple of rather large plants in the area, so it's easy enough for you to grab just a couple large leaf and sort of drape it over it. It's not a huge size mask. So, Malik, as you start getting closer, and to everyone else, you just hear the stranger go, Malik, with your ears, you! Stuff! Who you? Why are you here?
Oh, hello. My name is Shaman Gum. My party. We are from a distant tribe of goblin, much like yourselves. And we'd like to propose a trade.
Trade what?
Well, if we could, we'd like to speak to your shaman or chieftain or chiefess. Don't want to make presumptions, right?
You need Queen Crabstab. Who are the others?
The others, well, this, and Melik is going to point to Devaney. This is my right-hand lady. I'm blind and cannot see, so she does that for me. This behind me.
And Devaney will make a slight bow.
This behind me is my big man.
Designated big man.
Yes! My job title.
That's what he does. And a little further off is just an assorted security detail and also local hype man. That's how we do it at my tribe.
And finally, just the old sturdy companion. Gum 2 is its name. And then I guess Lana will go woof.
You two okay? Him outside.
Sorry, you cut out. What now?
Who's him?
Basically, they're telling you and Devaney can enter. Big man's to wait outside.
Well, if you don't mind, do you think he could at least stay, in the door? He's the only... Well, I don't know. Lady, can you carry the mask? Or do we need big man for that?
Devaney will look at you and lean down and whisper in your ear. She won't really say anything other than, yeah, no, that will be fine. But make a big production of it and then stand back up.
Oh, wonderful. I knew I could count on you, lady. All right. Big man, just wait right here. I'll call you if we need you. We'll be right back.
I'm giving her the mask?
Please.
Okay. So he, hands it to Devaney, but the whole time he's, just makes really intense eye contact with the two goblins.
As you're doing it, you notice the hands on the weapon sort of clench a little bit. Don't seem 100% comfortable at the moment.
So yeah, Devaney will take the mask and she'll sort of, I'd say palm it, but not show it out in the open just yet.
It's got a couple of rather large leaves draped over it to sort of cover it a little bit.
Well, all right, I suppose. Then we're all set to jet. Ha ha ha! Let's go!
Oh, it's one of the guards leads in and barks into the room. Trade! Queen Grabstep! And as you're getting closer, well, the rest of you had heard this sort of back and forth little bit of barking that had died down as you got closer. As you're even closer now, the inside of the tent is silent as you're entering. And Quen, are you sliding in with them?
Yeah, so Quen will just go inside of the tent after everybody and just kind of hang out there, but again be in the walls and trying to stay out of way.
Okay. So as the three of you are within the tent, and we'll put Solana right outside next to Big Man, and we'll stick Devaney over in here as well. As it's a little cramped at this tent at the moment. Melik, it's comfortable for you because it's goblin sized and you've altered yourself down to that. Devaney and Quen, it's a little cramped for the two of you now with a total of 7 goblins plus the 3 of you crammed into the room. But as much as Quen had seen before is you walk in, the two of you walk in, you can see this sort of pale, muddy-colored faced female goblin with the large medallion sitting right on her chest, and these multiple stalks of just stringy, black, greasy-looking hair with little red ties at the end of it, keeping it pointed in all different directions. And she just sits there looking, as trying to look as regal as a small goblin can.
Hello, Queen Grabshack. Hello, I am Shaman Gum. This is the right-hand lady. And we've been on a pilgrimage from our little tribe. We worship the god Hubba Bubba. And on our travels, we discovered something quite interesting that we thought you might be interested in.
Starts looking like, what you have?
So Divine will look down at Shaman Gum for, is this the time that I should take this out?
Not quite. 1 second. We're from the tribe of Chewing. It's quite a distance away. It's been a very long pilgrimage, but we are just about ready to turn back around. Just thought we'd make one more stop, and that's when we found your lovely tribe and thought we'd pay a visit. Here, let's cut to the chase. Let me show you what we've got. Right-hand lady, please show the queen the mask.
So what I would like to do is, as Devine presents this, she would like to make the movement and mutter the lights cantrip on the mask and have it sort of a nice green glow, green light, but disguise it in the movement that I'm sort of presenting.
Oh, okay. I'll say go ahead and make a sleight of hand check with advantage, as they're more focused on the mask at the moment, or rather, what's under the box. Thank God for advantage for you guys. Okay. And
as Devine presents the mask, I'm going to put the same word on the top forehead of the mask that says that same word.
Okay, how? You'd be casting a spell to do this?
Oh yeah, with Minor Illusion.
Okay, you can do it if you want to. It is considered casting a spell, though.
It's Minor Illusion and concentration.
Not concentration.
I'm gonna be quiet.
It's a spell action.
Oh, so you're saying that'll break my invisibility?
Yep.
Well, Melik is going to recognize.
Okay, yeah, so then I won't do that then.
This is not going well and will cast my dead.
Say to what?
Melik will instead cast the Minor Illusion, as it's not happening, and this is getting to be bad. So he gonna quickly go ahead and do that with one of those kind of flourishes. So I guess I'll roll sleight of hand also.
Yep, go ahead. And same deal with advantage, because there are focuses. Devaney's didn't matter. So as you wait a couple of seconds, and then Melik, you being skilled in the arcane arts, probably have the same realization as Quen did. As Quen went to cast, went, oh, I'll appear in the middle here. That's not going to be good. You probably hit that same thought process about the same time as you're waiting for it to happen and going, oh, it can't. So as you guys managed to pull this off, and you see everyone in the room jaws sort of go a little slack. Specifically, Quen, as you recognize the four bickering earlier, you watch as the two of them next to each other sort of start jostling, elbowing at each other. And again, that's back and forth between them. Melik, you're hearing them. Oh, that's nice. I could have that. I could want that. And back and forth. Queen's not saying much as yet, but you can see that same sort of almost slack-jawed look on it as it is glowing and shiny and...
Nice, isn't it? Well, of course, I'm not entirely sure if it is blind, but my friends tell me it's quite fantastic. So, what one thing that they also let me know was that you might have something that we find quite interesting, and so I'd like to propose a trade.
What you want, Queen Grabstab?
The choice of words threw me off for a second. Right-hand lady, might have discussed with you 1 second. Can't see it, all that. What do you think we should trade her for?
So once again, Devaney will bend down and start whispering in Melek's ear, and well, of course she'll say, the amulet looks pretty good. We should definitely ask for that. It's not very shiny, but pretty good.
Boondoggle, sounds fantastic. All right, Queen Green Snack. My right-hand lady says that you have a particular adornment around your neck that we might like to trade this fabulous item for. How does that sound?
She looks down at the amulet and then looks at the mask and points over at Devaney. Lady, bring closer.
Lady,
I'll
would you
take-
mind bringing the mask closer to Queen Haberdash?
So Devaney will take one large step and still holding onto the mask, but just sort of hold it closer.
And Queen Grabstab leans much closer in towards it and sort of looking back and forth between it. Picks up the amulet, looks at it a little. Maybe we trade. You tell Queen Grabstab this. What word mean? Word on necklace and on mask.
Lady, what is the word?
So Devaney will take a giant step backwards and lean down and once again whisper in Melek's ear. Say something about controlling their giant. I just know this contract wasn't their
Funyuns.
idol.
The word is Funyuns. Twelve's real bored outside.
I see. Okay, so it seems that our two items share a similarity, don't they? They have the same word on them, and that word is Funyuns. And that word does correspond to a particular statue that we found very nearby here. And items with this word on it do have the potential to control that statue. However, it seems that legend says that the bigger and fatter the letters are on the item, the more control one has. And if by chance they are tilted slightly to a different direction, that control becomes even more finessable. If only
Go
I
ahead and
knew.
make a deception check on that.
But not underlined. If they're underlined, it's completely worthless.
For the first time, I'm going to use my DM's inspiration. Hell yeah.
Okay. And Queen Grabstab is
I
going
clicked the
to...
wrong button.
That's a perception.
Hell
check.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Heyo.
There you go. Okay. I don't think Grabstab could make that if she crit, but we're going to roll it anyway. Yeah. Oh. And Queen Grabstab gets this strange little smirk on her face. Okay, we trade.
Incredible! Oh, I just love commerce. Oh, have fun. Okay, lady, please take the amulet, give her the mask, and we'll be on our way. And we will tell all of the tribe of Chewing how great your tribe has been. Praise be to Lord Hubba Bubba.
The Debonair once again will take a large step forward and hold out the mask and also hold out an empty hand.
So as Queen Grabstaff will take the amulet off and hand it to one of the attendants to deliver to you and complete the trade.
Yeah, I'll hand over the mask.
And you watch as Queen Grabstaff start looking the mask over.
And that is where
You've
we won't
probably
bother you
got
anymore. We are going to leave. Goodbye.
And you guys are backing out.
We would like to.
So as you guys start to back out, again, for the rest of you, you only hear barking. Melik, you hear crystal clear. Idiots. Didn't know says Vaughn. Doesn't say Funyun.
That's what you get for making fun of the disabled. Idiot. Idiots.
And we'll whisper down to Melik. That spell doesn't have long to last. Let's get out of here.
Bye.
So as you guys start making your way out, what's the party's plan?
Leg it.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's go before they realize they want both the mask and the amulet.
Back to the statue.
I'm going to give the amulet to Quen and say, what can you make of this?
So Quen will hold the amulet in his hand and will analyze it with his arcane eyes, and we'll see what sort of bits it has on it.
Oh, okay, so go ahead and make an Arcana check. And we lost Dave. Oh, no, we literally lost Dave. Dave is frozen solid. Give me a second, just sending.
Maybe try again once we get to the statue.
Okay.
So as you're looking at it, Quen, it looks like a control matrix. That's about all you can tell from it. And really, the only reason you know that for sure is because of the name printed on it. But while we are jumping back, I will ask Mr. Producer to follow the bouncing flag back to the player's map of Chult, as we will bounce back there as you guys are now basically full tilt sprinting away from Yellyark, as you have about 30 seconds. By the time you get back into the tree line and start hoofing it, that spell's worn off. Because it only lasts a minute.
We all understood, because of the spell, at least Melik's half of the conversation, right? We could understand him.
Right, you could understand Melik, and you just didn't understand any of the other parts of it. Unless you spoke Goblin.
Okay.
There really wasn't much to understand.
As we're running, Tuala's like, you said I love commerce, and they handed you the amulet. Oh, goblins are ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I am struggling so hard to agree with you right now. Gosh, okay. Okay, it is hard to run in clogs. So, Quinn, You get the statue in the boat while the rest of us get the boat, and then we're gonna leave. Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna fit in the boat.
Shit.
Statue and boat. Got it.
No!
It can walk along the shore with us, because we're not moving very fast.
That's true, it could jog. Golems don't get exhaustion, right?
Let's try to get it moving
We can
first.
find out.
All
So
right,
as you guys start making your way back, you realize that it took you the better part of a day to get to their camp. You get what you estimate probably about a third, maybe about half the way back to where you left Stephanie and where the statue is before the sun starts getting down in the sky. And you start running into Tual is having a little difficulty seeing as it's getting dark. Guys can push through the night and risk being a little tired tomorrow, or you can set up camp and
we left tracks everywhere, didn't we?
Yeah.
you were booking it, so
I say we just go ahead, cast Light on a Rock, just get back to Steffo, and just go ahead and get some good distance, because I feel pretty good about what we did back there, and I don't want to ruin it.
I mean, if they come after us, that's their problem.
Really, though.
Goblins are so dumb.
Yeah, you know, when you put it like that, Devonay, my whole attitude flipped around. I don't care anymore.
So they're probably looking for us if they've noticed we're disappeared. So if you make camp, well, we'll have to keep extra watch out. Or we could go all the way back to Stephanie and be tired and hopefully get the statue moving.
You're right, we can't risk Stephanie like that.
What do you guys think?
Let's just camp. Those dudes were dumb. I bet they can't even follow tracks.
And like you said, if they follow us, that's kind of their problem now. So then we have a reason to toast them.
All
You've
right,
gotten
let's make
so
camp.
confident since the Mummy Lord.
So let's keep an eye out, because if we get it surrounded, it's gonna go down.
So we're making camp.
Yes.
I would like to spend some time then creating some similar tripwire traps to the ones that the goblins made, using some like rope from my pack and some just like odds and ends and bits of things off of, like, he's got some like bones on his garments or whatever, just like taking them off so that they might clank together and set them up around our camp.
oh, okay. So say go ahead and make a we'll call this a dexterity check for the manual aspect of it.
Okay.
Not bad. Takes you a little bit of time, but you managed to get a decent couple of spots to the north of you where you're expecting them to be coming from, with some manner of, again, a very rudimentary sort of trip process. They trip it and you get the rattling, again, sort of wind chime, the exact sort of setup they had set up.
Okay. All the while as he's like setting this up. He said that his name was Blind Gob. That's not even the name of a goblin elder. Goblins.
Hey, Melik, I think we found your #1 fan.
Yeah, I mean, I know. It is troubling to me because I'm talking to Quinn very one-on-one right here. I'm kind of like, listen, I'm having a serious conflict here. Like, he has been nothing but super rude to me, calling me mean names, and also names that I would normally like, except for from him. So, like, I don't know what to do anymore because I also like it when people think that I'm awesome by laughing at my jokes and stuff.
Well, I think he definitely makes you seem a lot funnier, so it seems worth it to me.
I mean, First of all, I am funny. Doesn't make me seem funny. I'm funny. Quinn?
You are funny, Melik.
Good. Now this conversation's over before you say something rude like that again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I'm just a little shady. It's just the day. It's just how I'm feeling today.
That's cool. We good.
Okay. I'll be nicer tomorrow.
Boy hug.
Quinn's pretty fruity, so he's just gonna give you a big hug.
Cool. Break.
It's very tender.
Oh. Cool. Oh, now I'm thinking about that weird flirting with Tuala earlier, though, so it's getting a little weird. Anyways. Melik will take second watch. Politely abscond the situation.
One will take third.
Devaney wants last as usual.
Alright, I'm on first.
Alrighty then. So go ahead and give me some perception checks.
Give me a 9.
Wow.
Oh, alright.
Okay. Let's
From
see
downtown,
here.
that 19.
We've gotten all the
Okay,
sixes out of our system now.
And sorry, and what was the order again? I know Devaney was third.
Tuala's first.
Devaney's
Quinn's
last.
third, Devaney's fourth.
Devaney's
Okay,
always
so-
last.
Oh, yeah, it's the only one I always know it if to count on where it's going to. Okay. So I've got this grabbed here. Okay, so as you guys are going through your watches, Tuala, your watch seems to go through. You don't hear anything going on. Everything seems to be running just fine. As Melik, as your watch starts to roll through, though, everything seems to be going. No problems, no real situation. Then about an hour into your watch, you hear something, and it's going to take me a moment to get this done. So what I'm going to do first is, Mr. Producer, if you can follow us over to the first Untitled map where the player flag bounced over to. Do me a favor, and I have randomly thrown up, and I've actually only got 4 up there because last time we needed tents, we didn't have Tuala. So there we go. We have 5 tents sort of randomly rolled around over there. Do me a favor and stick yourselves where about how you'd be situated for an evening's respite.
Well, I'm on watch right now, right? So
Yeah, so you're on watch.
Quinn would probably just be in the dim of the campfire, meditating.
Since this is the only tent I can see, I'm gonna go in this. Yes,
Oh, but
my dark vision.
no dark vision. Oops. All right.
I'm in there, I guess.
Okay. Give me a second here. As how are you doing this to me, Mr. Roll 20? Okay. So as you are going through your watch, wandering around Melik, you actually, all of a sudden, let's see. Does a 12 hit?
Does a 12 hit? Oh my god, I'm so
Don't believe
spicy.
so.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hit me.
Okay. So all of a sudden, as you're out and doing your little rounds, walking around, you hear strange sound, and then as you turn your head and look, you see a very rudimentary arrow has buried itself in the ground near your feet.
Right.
And with that, I need to ask you to go ahead and, well, I'll say you've got one action before I need you to roll initiative.
I do. Okay,
Yep.
well, Melik is going to turn around and yell to wake everybody up.
Okay. So
And probably-
everyone go ahead and make a perception check for me to see if you're going to hear...
I might as well just yell. Can I cast, like, thaumaturgy on myself to make it super loud?
Sure.
Get the hell up.
So this will give you guys advantage on the roll. So Devaney, you wake up. Dwala, you wake up. Quen, I need a perception check from you and from Solana. Okay.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. That's,
Okay,
that's
so-
the right one.
Okay. Yeah, so you all managed to wake up in time. So give me just a moment as I have... Oh, silly thing, really. Okay, give me a second here. Because I need to... Oh, let's really hope I don't miss this. Give me just a moment. Really? All right, it's moving my things around on me, so I keep having to find a new spot to click it. I don't know if that rolled or not. Okay. So with that, we are going to switch up our audio as you guys are now. You know, why is it not? There we go. Okay. So now that all that's done, let's see what we're dealing with here. Okay. Top of the order. Okay. So based on this, during the top of the order, Melik, you have another arrow come flying out at you. And that is a 21 to hit. Oh, really? Hold on, that's a 21 to hit. I had it set on Whisper because I had to roll all of the initiatives.
Is it a 21 to hit, Ben?
Yeah, it's a 21 to hit.
Okay, it hits
Never
me.
whisper. Okay, so that is. I'm gonna try re-rolling the damage. If it's lower, I'll give you the damage. If it's higher, we'll keep the one that's there. Yeah, so it's 5 points of damage.
Okay, and you can just. Can I see the person that hit me?
Nope, not at the moment.
That's a super bummer. Let's see. Well, Hellish Rebuke doesn't say I have to see them.
Okay, let's see here. Hellish Rebuke.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that one. No, go ahead and
It says I have to point a finger at him, though. So if I can't see him, then maybe not.
You point your finger in the damage. Well, you'd be able to point your finger in the general vicinity away the arrow. So go ahead. I'll say sure. Go ahead and that's a reaction to do that, right?
Yeah. So go ahead and just eat that.
Okay. So out of the distance, you hear a cry, and then out of a tree to the south of you, you see the body of a goblin fall.
Boom, thug life. All right.
And that'll bring us over to Solana, who has just been woken up by the booming voice of Melik screaming, "Wake up."
Oof. Okay. I hello on Solana to cast Wall of Fire. But that might be a lot. I think she'd want to see, though, a little better. So we haven't been able to see them yet, right?
As Solana's coming out, steps out of the tent, looks around, sees Melik with an arrow stuck into him. Beyond that, you don't see anything. Solana wouldn't even know to look south for the one that fell out of the tree at this point.
Okay. So Solana is, I think, I want her to produce a flame then, and then kind of just cast it off into the distance just to provide more light.
Okay, where is she throwing it off at?
So did the arrow come from which direction of Melik? Or where did Melik do his hellish rebuke?
So Solana wouldn't have seen any of that, as Solana was still in the tent at that point.
Gotcha. Okay.
So looking at Melik, you can see the arrow is stuck in on Melik's right-hand side.
Okay, so she's gonna cast it over here then.
Okay, so you can throw it within 30 feet. So if we go from there. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll, I'll say go ahead and make a, make a ranged attack. So roll a d20 plus your wisdom modifier. Okay, let's see. Okay. So she casts off this fire, and let's see, what do we have here? Nothing really good, so we're just going to use this. So, Solana gets a hit on a tree with that casting, but it hits literally like the meat of the tree. So it's giving a little bit of light, but it doesn't look like it's going to last very long. Just a rather small little spot.
Okay.
Anything else Solana's doing?
I think she'd get back a little bit.
Oh, okay. And that will bring us over to, let's see here. Okay. Actually. Okay. And with that, so now Solana is taking a shot. I'm hiding, and that is a 19 to hit Solana as an arrow comes flying from the south and buries itself in Solana for 6 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
And then and Melik all of a sudden has, charging out of the underbrush in front of you, a small little goblin comes charging at you with his scimitar out and takes a swipe at you. 12 I don't think will hit, right?
No.
And just swipes in at you, but as this little creature comes charging, it unfortunately started shouting before it got too close, and you were alert for its presence.
Very cute, though.
Okay, this one down here is going to take another pot shot at Solana. That's a 19 to hit. That's another 7 points of damage to Solana. Then this one is right up front. Is actually going to... So it's got to do something a little different. This one is going to reach over, and Melik, you notice this immediately, and Solana would probably see this as well, as this small goblin reaches up, grabs a couple of dried branches off the ground, holds them in the small burning flame that Solana has created, takes a couple of steps forward, and drops the lit fire on top of this tent. Now starting the corner of this tent to start to smolder and burn.
Okay.
As this one down here is going to take another short bow shot at Melik. And that is a 24 to hit. So that is 9 points of piercing damage to Melik. And this one is close enough within the light that you are able to see where this arrow came from.
Hey, then meta question on reactions. How many reactions can I do?
One per round.
That's what I thought. I was like, that seems OP if I could just blast these off, so...
Yeah. Okay, this one down south is taking another shot off at Solana, the only other one I can see right now. And that is a 24 to hit. And that is another 6 points of damage to Solana. And that brings us around to Melik. Oh, you've got two in front of you, and you can see there are arrows just coming in from different points. You can hear Solana aching from a couple of shots she's taken in the last few seconds.
I have two in front of me. There's the one that set this thing on fire, and then where's the other one?
Literally standing right in front of you, the one that hacked at you with the scimitar.
Right, scimitar boy. Okay, I am going to cast... because I'm curious... No, you know what? Right now, I'm just going to Oh shoot, melee range and all that. Well, you know what? Tit for tat. I'll attack the one in front of me with my short sword, not a scimitar.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
8.
Okay. So as you hack into this and just cleave this goblin straight through.
Cool. And I'm going to run over to kind of where Solana's at and give her that little bonus action level 1 healing word. Just to kinda...
Okay. So it's not bad. 6. That takes care of at least one shot to her. That will bring us to this individual who is going to take... Oop, where'd you go? There we are. Okay, so this one is actually going to come running up. Is its full movement to actually look into this tent. And upon sticking its head in the tent where Devaney is currently in the process of getting up, it's going to take a scimitar shot at Devaney, which is a 12. I don't think that's going to hit. Okay, this one is going to take another bow shot at Solana. That's not going to hit. Okay, this one is actually going to move over here. And this one is going to do the same. Okay. This one down here is going to take a... It's actually going to pick up its... come charging it, you, Malik, out of the light. Well, rather into the light, and showing up in front of you is going to take a swipe with its scimitar. That's a 14. Will that hit?
No.
Okay. I will bring up this one that is going to take a shot with its short bow, and then that's a 23. And that,
at me?
Yeah, sorry, at Malik, yes.
Damn. All right, yeah, it'll do it.
That's 3 points of piercing there. And again, as it's close enough to the light as it's firing off that shot, you are able to actually see it. And with that, that'll bring us over to Tuala, who has been awoken by Melik's shout. And as you're sort of getting up and getting ready to head out, all of a sudden, your tent's on fire.
They lit my tent on fire! Goblins! Alright, I would like to take a step out of my tent. Boop. And I just
as you look around, you've got one in front of Melik. You can see the other one sort of coming around the side of your tent. You've got one over at the entrance to Devaney's tent with its scimitar out.
Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a step here around the outside of my tent. These are 5-foot squares, right?
Yep.
So I was just checking this to see if this is just an oversight on their part, but the Xanathars here does not actually specify what my save is. I'm going to rage because they lit my tent on fire, these sons of a bitch. And I'm going to use my newly founded Sea Storm Aura to cause the goblin that is menacing Melik to have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. So I know the saves are... What is it? It's 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus... Let me take a look here. Okay. What's your primary stat? It's strength, right?
My
Like,
highest stat.
Well, not your
strength.
highest. What's your primary for the
primary strat for like damage would be strength.
Okay, so we'll call it and we'll research it after the fact. But for now, we'll call it 8 plus proficiency bonus, plus your strength modifier is your DC.
Spell save is 14.
Okay.
And he either takes 5 or he takes half on a successful save lightning damage.
Okay, so save is a 13, so he fails.
Okay.
You say he takes 5 damage?
He takes 5 damage. So Tuala steps out of his tent. I lit my I rage, and glancing at him as he like the rage like fills him, just like electricity just over his whole body, and like an arc of lightning shoots out and hits the goblin in front of Melik as he like glares at it. And then I want to turn my attention to the one in front of me here, and I would actually like to I don't know what the roles required for this, but I actually would like to extinguish the fire on my tent with that goblin.
Just kind of
So okay, we'll call this go ahead and make a we'll say just a straight strength-based attack is you're going to basically try to grapple basically you're body slamming him essentially.
Okay, so I should have advantage since I'm raging.
Yeah, yep.
Hopefully my rolls have turned around for the night. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, that's okay. So we're gonna say, easy enough to just pick him up and slam him onto this point. The fire really hasn't had a chance to spread very far, as it's only been a couple of seconds since he lit it. But go ahead and roll. We'll say 2d4 plus your strength mod.
Okay.
Since it's an unarmed attack, which would be 1d4 for the fire damage, and then whatever your strength modifier is for. Oh yeah, as you slam this goblin down, immediately extinguishing the fire, and at the much the same point, extinguishing the goblin. As just plow him into this, and you listen as the flames go out as you slam him down, and just the ribs crack as you crush his chest in.
Wow. Well, like top 10 best anime battles.
It's a free action to talk, right? I'd like to yell across to Devaney.
Tetsuo!
Muscular one, do the thing where you produce the light. I cannot see. He yells over the shattering of goblin bodies.
Good. Anything else? You stay where you are. You moving? You've got a little movement left.
No, because the only other goblin I can see is already within reach of my polearm, so I'll stay where I am.
Okay. So that'll bring us to Quen, who has just been roused by a booming Melik shout.
Oof.
And now you're hearing Tuala call across that he can't see anything, but you definitely know some stuff is going down outside.
Yeah, okay. So I definitely can't make any light things, so I can't be helpful there. But I definitely want to follow up your top 10 anime battles and raise you top 10 magic battle. Yeah, so I'm going to cast Sleet Storm.
Okay.
And I'm going to center it like 40 feet away. Actually, 40 feet away, centering like here.
Okay, so what is this now? So it's a 40-foot radius? Jesus.
40 foot, yeah.
Okay, just give me a second here.
So as Quen is roused from his slumber, he does not like to be woken up in the middle of his meditation. His eyes are going to flash an icy, wintry blue as he's going to mutter the single word, chill, and then cast Sleet Storm.
Okay, and Quen, put mark that point one more time where you want it centered on. Right down there.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 2, 3, 4. I cannot make it large enough on this map, so we are just going to run with that. So, actually, if I stretch it out a little more, let's do this. Delete. Oh. Draw shape. Okay. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 35, 40. 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. There we go. Now if we can drag that down to where Quen wanted it. Alrighty then. I'll put you... Okay, right about there. Okay, so as you're watching as you slam this thing down, all of a sudden, just a massive swirling ice storm appears. The leaves in the trees and the underbrush whipping as this wet, pouring heavy snow and sleet starts pounding onto the ground. Trees, the underbrush. You can hear in the distance barely muffled cries. Given the sound of this pouring heavy snow, it's hard to tell how many voices you're hearing, but you definitely can tell there is some angry people.
Excellent!
And that's all Quen's got this turn.
Okay. So that will bring us over to this individual. We're just going to jump over here. Okay. And then this person is going to come charging out of the darkness over at Tuala. And, oops, wrong button. I'm over here first so you see him. As he comes charging out and take a scimitar shot at you, Tuala, and that is gonna miss by a mile. As he seems to be a little somewhat disturbed by the large ice storm that's going on at the moment. Then this individual is going to come over here. And that'll bring us up to Devaney.
Well, I guess I'm already awake since somebody took a shot at me already.
Yeah, Melik's shout woke everybody up with thanks to thaumaturgy.
So would I be able to cast light on my hand axe and throw my hand axe, but not try to hit anybody? I'm just like throwing it like a stone.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
That's what and I'm going to use the hand axe that I bonded with, and I'm going to throw it over. I'm not going to hit Tuala, but I'm going to throw it in his direction.
Okay, so I'll say go ahead and make a
move if it would make it easier.
It's one way or another. You basically just make a make an attack roll to throw the hand axe.
Oh, okay.
We're going to see how accurate you are in getting it near it. If you don't have it set up, oh yeah, it lands right next to him. So we will.
Actually,
Hits me in the back of the head.
Been there, done that. Actually, I would like to throw a little bit past him.
Oh, okay.
Like, just after, like 5 feet after him.
So what we will do then is we will grab this, and for ease sake, we're just going to take this little fireball emblem here, and this is going to be the glowing. And that gives off the same light as a torch, right?
Holy crap! Is there another goblin in front of me?
Yeah, it charged
I
up and
couldn't
hit
even
you.
see it.
Bright in 20-foot radius and dim for additional 20 feet.
Yep. That's the torch rolls. So yeah, there's the goblin right next to you that took a hack at you with the scimitar, and there's one a little further back that's got its bow out, but it seems to be looking a little more north. You think it's probably taking pot shots at Malik. Okay.
I think that's all I can do as far as actions. And I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay. So I'll bring us. You did that. I'll bring us. Okay. Back
Solana.
to you. Okay, hold on. So at this point, Solana has another arrow coming down at her from somewhere off in the north. That is a 24 to hit.
Wow.
That's another 10 points of damage to Solana.
Where's Solana?
And then this one, I think, is, yeah, this one has to make a dexterity save. So let's see here. So that individual is prone. Okay. So it stands itself back up and then uses what little bit of its movement it has left to try to get out of this mess that somebody has buried it in. And that brings us to Solana, who is getting pot shots coming at her from north and south at the moment.
Ooh, yeah, I think Solana is a little bit annoyed by this. So this is probably going to take a little bit of things going on. So I want Solana to cast Control Water on my Sleet Storm and have the Whirlpool rules. So basically, she's like accelerating the speed of the ice storm and weaponizing it.
This is maybe not anime, but it's definitely Avatar. You got that one.
Okay, and okay, given the time, I'm going to say sure for tonight. I'm going to have to look into that, see if it'll work again, but right now it's too bloody cool to not let happen. So, okay, creature operates within. Okay. Yeah, so that, okay, so that's a creature can swim.
I like this. We're having like one of those like anime game twin attacks.
Okay, so yeah, so they'll have to start making saves on their turn. So we'll see what we can find. We'll see what happens with it. So okay, so that's Solana's action. Anything else she's doing?
No, that's it. Or you know what? Maybe she should step back a little bit and try to hide in the dark.
Okay. So Solana steps back. This one tries to make a save. Okay, so it actually makes the save. And then... Okay. Which one are you? Okay, so that's you. So you're able to swim away from that. Oh, whoa! What the heck? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Lost my page for a second. Okay, so you can only get to there. But you're still going to take Okay. So as you hear a battered cry from out there in the distance somewhere. And that's about it. You don't see anything, unfortunately. This one is
toilet, man.
this one is gone. This one fails its save. So okay, that one dies. Literally. Goblin death toilet.
It just gets smashed by like ice rocks.
That one's already dead. That one's dead. Okay. Hey! This one is not in it. It's going to take a short bow shot at Tuala because he can see him. That's a 20.
I can take it.
So Tuala, you may not be able. Oh, and actually, I forgot. This was only up for one round because it hit an actual live tree. So, Tuala, as you see an arrow comes flying from right outside this massive swirling, what looks to be almost an ice hurricane at this point. But this individual, while the wind is whipping and you can see shreds of hair and ratty clothing getting pulled, it's outside the actual sphere of influence at the moment, but still taking pot shots up at you right next to it.
Okay.
That'll bring us to this guy who has to save, fails, dies. Okay. And that will bring us to Melik.
Okay. So I can see this guy, and he's outside of the Death Storm, right?
Yep. So you can see that guy. You can see the one right in front of you that is still got little sparks of electricity coursing over his body, but is still on his feet. You can also see the two standing in front of Tuala.
Cool. I want to try something with that guy that I pinged, and I'm going to cast Enemies Abound, which is something I picked up over last week.
Okay. Alrighty then. Goblins, as Tuala likes to say, are not overly smart. What's your DC?
My spell save DC is 15.
Okay.
Eat it.
That's a 3. Okay.
Cool.
So this is going to be entertaining when this comes around again.
I'm excited about that little boy. And then I'm gonna just step that way.
Okay. And that will bring us to this individual who's going to take a short bow shot down at Devaney. And did that not roll? Try that again. There we go. So that's an 18 hit you, Devaney?
It does.
Hey, I hit Devaney for once. And 7 points of piercing damage as an arrow sinks into your shoulder as you've just chucked your brightly glowing axe over to Tuala. And then as that happens, the one right in front of you is going to take a swing with his scimitar at you. That's a 17.
That will hit as well.
Okay, so that is 6 points of damage as he carves into you as you're sort of taken back a little by the arrow that strikes you from the north, and then this person in front of you manages to take it, carve into you. And then all of a sudden from the north, crashing through the trees, is a stack of goblins.
Oh my god, Goblin Voltron?
In a trench coat?
Basically, yes, Goblin Voltron. A stack of 6 goblins charges south.
That's ineffective. That's too many.
Take out the knees.
Next to Solana. And the top one takes its scimitar out and hacks down at the top of Solana. And that is a 24 to hit. That's another 4 points of slashing damage to Solana as this massive tower of goblins, which is now realistically only about 4 feet taller than Solana. Given how small these things are. Well, actually, 3, 6, 9. No, actually, no, this is a good point. This is probably closer to like 6 feet taller than Solana, but still.
I mean, it's so excessive. Why are these things on top of each other? They are dumb.
It boosts their confidence.
Okay. And now let me just make sure here. I can believe when they are stacked like this, only the top one can make their attack.
That would be impressive, though, if they had 12 little arms with little scimitars. Like,
yeah. So, only one of them gets to attack at a round, fortunately. So, okay. This guy, though, that has still got little bits of lightning coming off him, is still right next to Melik, is going to take a swipe at Melik with its scimitar. And that is 18 to hit.
And I'll take my chance now that I have it again.
Okay.
You go ahead and die, little boy.
I'm not even going to bother rolling because it's even at half damage, it's enough. Is you reach out and fire this off and just completely destroy this goblin that's right in front of you. And then that will bring us to, where are you? Oh, you're this guy who is over with Tuala. So this guy is going to circle around Tuala and take a swipe at you with its scimitar as well. Come on. There we go. So does a 15 hit?
Yes.
Okay, so that has 3 points of damage to you as this creature drags its scimitar across your back as it scuttles around behind you. And then that brings us to you.
Okay. So I can just make out this, like, tower of goblins on the corner of the firelight here. So, in my rage, I wind up my my glaive, ready to start attacking these goblins. But I see that there is a cheerleader pyramid of goblins threatening the druid. And I would like to just... the moment before he starts, like, glaive swinging at these two near him, he, like, looks at the tower of goblins, and then I would like to think he, like, makes eye contact with Melik for, like, a half a second, and just gets this look on his face like, come on, like, I'm not gonna. And then I would just like to take off running at a full sprint, incurring both of those attacks of opportunity, and I would like to bowl into those goblins as hard as I can.
Okay, so let's first see. We got a 14 and a 19 at you.
The 14 misses, the 19 will hit.
Okay, so that's 8 points of slashing damage. So, and as you're charging into, what exactly are you trying to do? You've got a stack of these things that are 6 high.
6 high? So, I'm just running into, like, presumably I can, with my height, and if he's, like, throwing a shoulder, he can hit at least, like, the bottom, like, 2.5 goblins.
It's a linebacker move.
He's just linebackering his way, like, into these goblins with the, like, every ounce of, like, ability that he can muster to just, like, best case scenario, it's like an explosion of, like, goblins go in every direction.
Okay.
So happy we have a barbarian now.
I will put this on stream. I understand Michael's frustration with me now in our first campaign together. Because I was the barbarian that would pick up somebody and hit him with somebody else. So, yeah, go ahead. And this is going to be a strength attack. So, yes, you're raging. You still have advantage on it.
Advantage. Strength check. Not a strength save, right? Just a strength check?
No, like a strength attack. So, D20 plus your strength mod.
Okay. 19.
Well, and it's good thing you had it because the first one wouldn't have hit. So as you go charging through, go ahead and I'll say roll a percentile die for me.
D100?
Yep, just D100. Let's see how this plays out, how many of these you actually managed to clear through. Okay, so
nice.
You take you take out the bottom 2 is clear. So go ahead and roll a D4 plus your strength mod, and then they need to make a dexterity save to see what happens to the rest of them.
Ah, boo!
Okay.
1.
So the bottom 2 are strewn at various points, and they do look shaken up, but they are still alive. Now, as for the remaining 4, let's see if they manage to, you knocked the legs out of Voltron. Let's see if it somehow manages to land on its hips. So, let's see here. They say it's, okay. Dexterity save. And it actually makes the save.
Boo!
So as these 2 go flying off into the distance, as you clear straight through with no attack of opportunity from the others. And then these 4 actually manage to land on the ground, albeit somewhat shakily, but still stacked 4 high, with you clear through on the other side of them.
Melik will yell, "Worth it!"
Ah! Worth it!
And that will bring us over to Quen, who currently has the Quen and Solano Whirlpool of Death going.
I love it. This is the best. Okay, so Quen is really mostly focusing on this ice storm here, so he's only going to... that was still on his sheet, no wonder. So he's going to cast Chill Touch on the bottom-most goblin in the goblin cheerleader stack.
Okay, so that'll hit, so go ahead and roll some damage for me.
And then I think that's another 1d8 because I'm over level 5.
Okay. Okay, so as as your spell reaches out and you watch this goblin sort of buckle a little bit, but it is still on its feet. It's a little shaky, but the tower still stands at the moment.
Alright, well that's it. That's it for his turn.
Okay. Actually, give me a second. We're just gonna see. Okay. So as we drop down, actually no, because that would have put him at the top. So yeah. So you are now the bottom. No, he's the bottom person. So that's nothing on him. So that'll bring us over to this individual, who's going to move up to the closest person to him, which is going to be Melik, and take a swipe at you with the scimitar. That's a 17 to hit.
Okay, Melik is gonna use one of his bardic inspiration dice at this point, and use it as a cutting words dealamajig and get the heck back, you little gross monster. And He misses.
Okay. So let's see here. That'll bring us. Okay, so they're in the stack. Huh. And that'll bring us over to Devonay.
So is there a goblin still, the goblin with the scimitar still standing beside me?
Yep.
Because I can't, I actually cannot see him, but I think Devonay would be able to.
You can
You
feel
should
him.
have. Oh, that's right. I switched all the tokens. That's why.
Because Devonay currently doesn't even have dark vision. She just has campfire.
Yeah,
light.
it's better.
Oh, there we go. I can see him.
Yes. So he is technically right over here.
All right, yeah, I would like to hit him with a sword.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make your attack. And that'll definitely hit. So go ahead and roll some damage. Okay. He is still on his feet. He looks to be in rough shape, though. He's deep gash running through him for that cut hit.
All right, I'll try again.
Okay. And that will miss.
All right, third time's the charm, right? Ooh.
Nope.
He's going down.
As you hack into him the first time, the next two he seems to be more alert, as you really haven't paid much attention to him as of yet, so he wasn't expecting that first one.
Yeah, that's my turn. That's all I'm doing. Staying where I'm put.
Okay. So I'll bring us to you're in the stack. You're in the stack, you're... Okay. Okay, this guy is going to forgo the bow at this point and come charging forward towards Tuala. Take a shot at you with the scimitar. It's a 13.
No, that does not hit.
Okay. Next one has to make a dexterity save. Fails. Then gets bludgeoned by the whirlpool of doom and is immediately dead.
Dies.
As you once more hear another cry coming out of that southern area. That brings us back to Solana, who is currently got the four-man Tower of Goblin.
Yikes. So I think Solana's just gonna hit it with her quarterstaff, the one right in front of her.
Oh, okay. So which one is she swinging at?
Oh, I just pinged it. This one here.
Oh, okay. So she's hitting the bottom of the tower?
Yes, the
Oh,
bottom.
okay. So that is definitely enough to take it out. So as this one crumbles, we're going to move it over one and make a dexterity save. Okay, and they make their save. So the tower drops and is now 3 tall. Again, lands somewhat shakily, but it is still 3 people tall. Anything else Solana would be doing?
That's it.
Okay. And let's see. You already. Yeah, you're already dead. You're already dead. Oh, you're still down there, but now Tuala is gone, so this one takes a couple of steps forward. It's going to take a. Actually, this one's going to take a pot shot at Quen, as it's got a clear line of sight on Quen now. That is a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, so it's 6 points of damage. And Quen, I need you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me. See, okay, it's enough. And to make sure you maintain concentration on your spell.
Yes.
And that one's gone, and that brings us back to Melik.
How's Solana looking? Health-wise.
Solana's pretty decent. She has 40 out of 63 hit points.
She's got 63 hit points. God,
Yeah, she's kind of meaty and jealous.
She's kind of buff. Okay, well, I'm not. So, and this is kind of getting annoying. So, I think Melik is going to grab Solana and ask her if she is willing. Is Solana willing?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you
sick.
doing to me, Melik?
We outie.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we're just gonna pop over somewhere here behind Quinn.
Gwen will be startled.
Okay, and what's the range on Thunderstep? Is that a 15-foot or a 5-foot?
Thunderstep is
In terms of the damage.
a 10-foot.
Oh, okay.
So I was here.
So, yeah, so it'll definitely hit the tower, the one next to you. So there is actually no even need for a save on these. I'm going to be lazy rather than mark them. I'm just going to remove them. As all of those just literally get blown away from this thunder wave that goes off. Anything else Melik is doing?
That's it for me.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I will yell at Tuala like, "You got the rest of them. Go get them," and give him some bardic inspiration.
I can't see the rest of them.
As long as he felt inspired. That's what counts for that.
I feel like I can get them though.
Awesome.
Okay. That brings us to a scab top that is going to take another pot shot down at Devonay. That's a 12. Don't think that's going to hit. This one with the scimitar right in front of her is going to swipe out again. That's a 24. That is 9 points of damage as he carves into you. Our next two friends from the tower are both going to close in on either side of you. And are both going to take a swipe at you with their scimitar. That's a 16 and a 15.
Is this me taking all this damage?
Oh, sorry. Yes. 12. I keep forgetting.
So the 24 did hit me, and then...
Oh, no. Nope. The 16 and the 15.
16 and 15. Both of those will hit.
Okay, so that's a total of 13 points of damage.
Okay.
And then, okay, so that's 1, 2, those two, you're dead. Okay. You're still alive, and doesn't have a clear line, and it sees Quen right over here. So it's going to come charging over next to Quen and take a swipe with the scimitar. And that is 24 damage to, 24 to hit Quen.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit. That's a crit.
So that is 9 points of damage as this one drags its scimitar across you. I need you to make another Constitution save for me.
Oof. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Okay, that brings us up to Tuala. You've just heard Quen shout, "Get back!"
Okay, I've heard Quen shout, "Get back!" But there's a tower of double goblins attacking me.
Basically, you've got goblins on three sides. The tower is gone. You heard a thunderclap behind you, and what was left of the tower is gone. The two that you said flying when you ran through the tower are the ones that sort of pincered in on you.
Okay. So I will. Make 2 attacks. I can't actually see any goblins here, so I suppose that'll be a disadvantage.
Oh, well, give me a second. Is this, let me take a look at the firelight. Let's see what the range is. They're dim light, so it's, that would technically be a disadvantage.
Okay.
I don't know if your path, you can always go reckless if you want to. That'll even the roll.
Nah. I'll go without going reckless. So I'll make an attack at. So you said they're like here and here.
Yeah, it's basically east and west.
Okay. So I'll take 2 attacks at both of those.
Okay.
So an 18.
So first one will hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
That one.
Okay.
And so that is 4 damage plus the additional lightning damage.
Okay. So first, as you carve through, even though you can't see it, they just swung at you. You know where they are. You cleave through that, and you can hear it sort of go as it just collapses to the ground, dead.
Okay. And I will make an attack on the other side then. 16.
16 will hit.
Okay, and
that, as you carve through the second one, and again, this one, as you swircle back down and come down through it, it literally just splits him down the middle.
Ugh, that seems gross. Okay, and then I guess
You've got one other in front of you to the north that you know of.
Okay. I can use a bonus action to smack that with the haft of the glaive.
Yep. That unfortunately will not hit.
Okay. And then I will use my move action, following the best I can Quinn's directions, GTFO, and I will risk attacks of opportunity, and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I will run right over to the...
As you swing with the haft and then turn to run, the goblin sort of stumbles back to dodge, and as it's fallen, it sort of swipes half-heartedly at you and just misses by a mile.
Okay.
And that'll bring us to Quen.
Cool. So Quen's gonna cast a fireball right here.
Right there where you were. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, he's gonna cast fireball. Okay. And it's not gonna hit Devaney.
Thank you.
So there are no saves required for that because it's just well over. Even if they save, there's no coming back from it. And as this massive fireball explodes and takes these out, you watch as both tents are completely engulfed in flame as well.
Oh yeah, flammable things.
Oh yeah.
What a pickle. Oh well.
Anything else you're doing?
No.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to Devaney. Devaney, you've just witnessed a massive fireball and heard a couple of guttural screams that were cut extremely short. And as you sort of cover your eyes and then move your hand away, you realize it's still extremely bright in this area, as 2 of the tents are fully engulfed in flames at this point.
There's one goblin left that Devaney can see, so she's going to cast Magic Missile at it, because she's tired of missing.
Okay, so go ahead and make a roll for us. And that'll definitely hit, and there is no save required as that thing just literally just gets pelted by these magical darts and collapses to the ground. And then that will... anything else you're doing?
No, I'm staying where I am.
Okay. That'll bring us back over to Solana. So what would Solana be doing?
Hi, sorry, I had my thing muted. So Solana will take... Okay. So she still has her concentration going for her control water spell. I want her to move the storm, turn it back into liquid water, and rain it over the flaming tents.
Okay, let's see here. Okay. Okay. So she can move the storm. It will impact all of you, that means.
But no, I want to turn into liquid water and rain it over. I want to make it gentle now. Am I doing too much?
Yeah, that's a little beyond it.
Okay.
It'll allow her to redirect the flow, so she can move it. Oh, actually, give me a second. It's... well, yeah, it's within the area, so it would. You could move it to change the flow, the direction of it, but you wouldn't be able to change how the flow is behaving. So, like, turning it into the whirlpool, flowing it that way, or moving the location the way it's moving, but changing the style of it, I'd say you wouldn't be able to do both of it.
Okay. Never mind then.
So if she may have other spells that will...
She has fog cloud. Can I condense fog cloud into like liquid water?
So yeah, go ahead and make a wisdom check. We'll see what Solana thinks would happen here. So Solana's pretty sure that given how strong the flames are at this point, because it's literally the entire tent's on fire, that it would evaporate the fog cloud before it could condense. It needs to be something more heavy done.
More heavy done.
Yeah, I don't know what she has prepared or set up for.
Well, I was kind of banking on the control water, like being able to just put it out, but...
I'm just looking real quick. Yeah, nothing that I can see jumps out at me necessarily off the top of my head. Again, she could run over and try to put it out manually if she wanted to. As they stamp it, beat it down, but...
I mean, it's the whole tent you said, so I don't know if that'll work. Besides just throwing dirt on it.
You can try that as well. That's Lana's trying to... there you go. Mela can make more tents too.
Okay, cool.
Anything else at the moment?
No, No, nothing that's like directly, like everything's kind of me just like fudging it a little bit to kind of role play it.
Okay. Well, we'll let Solana sit for a couple of moments and then think while this goblin off in the distance is going to take another pot shot over at Quen. As that's what he has been doing. And that is a 15 to hit. Does a 15 hit Quen?
Nope.
Okay, so he just goes a little wide on that. That brings us over to Melik.
The goblin taking pot shots is this old boy, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's trade. I love commerce. No!
So it's two of you are starting to go back and forth a little bit. Seems like neither one of you is having much luck at the moment.
Sometimes it happens in business.
You know.
I'm gonna use my bonus action really quick, just to, or my bonus, just a little bonus healing word for me. This one's for Dad, is what I'll whisper to myself. And then I'll be done.
Okay, and that'll bring us over to Tuala, who has just seen a couple of one arrow go one direction, a bolt head back the other.
Is this the one that's being they're shooting at back and forth here? Okay. It's the only one I can see still.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna run over, and I can't quite make out the grid in this area. I want to get within 10 feet of him.
Yep, you're perfect where you are then.
Okay, and I will make 2 attacks at that goblin. My glove.
And that's my fault because I put the light on backwards. So, yes, that'll hit.
Alrighty. I'm gonna roll damage or roll a second attack.
Go ahead and roll damage, because the way you do damage may not need a second.
9, and then
So-
just for flair, additional 2 lightning damage.
So, Dwala, how do you want to do this?
So I would like to basically just run up over the do like a jumping leap over the sort of like flattened out extinguished remains of my tent where I smashed a goblin into it, and over this guy, and just one-armed like throw the glaive out forward so that it just goes through this last goblin's like center chest, and then just in like an arc over the top of his head, just flip it over, and then slam the goblin down into the ground on the other side of him with the glaives into the ground.
Easy enough, and as it slams into the ground, you guys have survived the battle.
Okay,
With
how
what?
many gobos were there?
Which is which? 20.
Oh,
Yikes.
Jesus.
Less now than when we started is the correct time.
It's 40 lived in that village that you swindled.
We seem to be good at that.
So with
We
that,
didn't swindle though, did we?
defrauded. We could argue semantics later.
We traded fair and square.
Just advertising. We just had a
Oh,
fun
is that-
advertisement on the object.
As you guys have completed this, and we have run almost 45 minutes over. I feel bad keeping our temporary producer late this evening. Before we disappear and we pick up next week to see how our our party responds to one tent being partially burned by goblins, 2 tents completely up in flames. But at least Stephanie's okay.
Yes, yes,
That's all that matters.
Yes. Yes.
The only material possession of value.
So as we wrap this up for the evening. Before we disappear, I want to toss this out to any of our viewers who are still here with us this late or our cast. How do you guys feel about the Roll20? Nat 20. Who do you want to award it to for next week?
My vote's for Melik.
Yeah, Melik as the blind goblin conversing with Queen Crabshack.
I've had to guess at the just like got thrown into this whole Roll20 thing as nobody explained it to me. So what the Nat 20 is. But I've decided that my vote every week is going to go to whoever has the line that makes me laugh the hardest during the session. And I love commerce. Closely seconded by Goblin Death Toilet.
That was also.
But I think I love commerce was my favorite for the night.
That's a good point, Matt. I apologize. Should have told you that. Each week, we toss a vote out between our players and the viewers to award somebody a free Nat 20 for the next week. So you can turn around and say, "Oh, I got to go kick that door down." If you've got the Nat 20, sure, Nat 20 it. A door just splinters. So it's one free, get out of jail free, or get in somewhere, whatever you want to use it for. So it looks like
for me, auto swindle is oftentimes what I end up using them for.
But hey, it works and it's helpful. So yeah, it looks like we've got a fairly strong consensus. And Melik, you will have the Nat 20 for next week. We will pick up back here next Monday as our party finishes their journey back to the Shield Guardian Vorn to try to take control of it and return it to Wakanga and see what other situations they get into. But I will mention in passing, we're running a little over, but this is something that's more for Solana, for Sarah's sake, but want our viewers to be aware of it. As the battle is ending, and as Solana is, getting back into her tent, that egg is starting to pulse more. She's noticed it once or twice in the past. The egg is pulsing faster now. It seems to be something's going on. There may be other things to be dealt with coming soon. But on that note, as we leave our party and our viewers slightly confused, as the egg, we don't get to talk about it much, unfortunately. But it's still there being watched by Solana. I'll say when you find yourselves accosted by 20-odd goblins out in the darkness that you can't find more than half of them, and you find yourself needing to flush them down the Goblin Death Toilet, you can always add your proficiency bonus. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to tune in on Friday, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.